Don't turn out the light. Damn bogan. Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and tonight we're going to talk about an athlete. I get on and I see I've already got 13 likes, which means either you're easily pleased or I'm doing something okay. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I don't even know if it makes any difference, but I've heard other people say it, so let's do that. Please, at least Carl, he'll have your back. Guys and girls, athlete, don't look at the thumbnail, get confused and go, I want to get in the army and play basketball. I want to get in the army and be some chick with long hair doing rap. What I'm saying is there is a functional movement aspect to being a soldier where you actually have a longer career than a professional athlete, where you are paid to perform at a physical level that you can't tap out at. And if you do, then you are not only bad for the team, lay down Sally, if you remember the lass from the Olympics, but you become the liability. You become the, what do you call it? The iron ball. Okay, the caveman's wife, whatever you want to call it. What are we drinking tonight as we head into the stream that is here for you about the Australian Army, be the athlete in 2021? I couldn't think of anything better than, what do you reckon about this one there? Who we got? Stevie Webb. We've got Alex. We've got Daz, the Hyundai driving freako. Bam, chili and garlic sauce. That's what we're drinking tonight. Let me just get that with you. Get the lid off. The lid is another name for a junior soldier. Never be offended by it, because at the end of the day, it means you've made it into uniform. You've made it through training. And that's part of what you have to do. So here we go. Boom. Bottoms up. Maybe it was fake news. It's the only corona I'm having this year, as far as sickness goes anyway. I thought that was going to be Kirby Hamilton, but it wasn't. It was Joel Hurdle. And what better donation do you want to get from someone who is handling your hurdles? Bam, I'm over it. Do you like that one? Thank you for your donation, mate. Good to have you here. Flubber Dubber and friends, that's Joel. Billy Joel. She's only a woman to me. Mr. P, Pepsi in the titanium cup. Wash your mouth out, you filthy pirate. Or we're going to send the double-daggered Gurkha over there to shave your nuts in a blackout. How does that sound? Ryanopoulos, Alex G, Robbie Kent. We got We Lit. We lit what? We lit the fire. That's Billy Joel. Lauren, Robbie Kent, the keeper of hounds. He comes from Vic. I hope he's okay. What's here for Watts? That's a good name. We haven't got one of you yet. If you can, subscribe to the channel so we see the zombie appear on the screen. And then you become part of the team. We need 1 billion people. So we've got a bigger voice, almost a bigger voice as the red corn chip. Because I tell you what, I don't know what's happening in the USA at the moment, but they need some people with a bit more balls to stand up and start to say what's good for the country, not for the party. I tell you now, pants on fire, so many of them. It's making me sick. And as for the Supreme Court in the USA, they can quit their jobs tomorrow. They only make a couple of decisions a year. They got their job by the guy that they're not backing up. They're a goddamn disgrace. Take their job off them. Don't invite them to any parties coming up either. Alex G, anyone going to Kapooka in February? Alex, this is all for people like you, because guess what? There is not an excuse that anyone can possibly have that's going to the Australian Army in 2021, surviving the year 2020, perfect vision. There is no excuse to go there and be a pussy, to go there and be unprepared, to go there and not be middle class in the franchise, which is the economy of fitness. What are the standards? Let's have a look at a few, and tonight we're going to cover some different topics from fitness standards, requirements, why, Special Forces, what you need to get there, and the discrepancies that are in the way. Guys and girls, at the moment, because of said beer, I don't even know if Kapooka is even having bloody PT at the moment. I've heard they're not, which means they're giving a broken product to the IET school. The PT is part of the product that whittles out the weak and gets rid of those time wasters, the bloaters, that get in the way of a real soldier's efforts at joining and having a 40-year career potentially. I can't think of a better way to have a life goal, entrepreneurial arc of professional success than starting in the army. Remember, when you get in the army, everyone's primary role or secondary is meant to be infantry related, because everyone may have a chance to actually pick up their weapon if they can support it, seek out and close with the enemy. No, they won't get that, but they may defend themselves from it. And if that case happens, you need to be able to do the basic skills, the infantry minor skills, to be able to defend you and yourself and your team. But you need to be able to, one, do your belt up, do your pants up, be able to pick your equipment up and be able to make it there with enough sweat not on your brow that you can get a sight picture and say, not today there. Who will we say? Cisco? What do I got over here? Jay. Let's get Lauren on here. She's always fantastic. She reads better than me. Her voice sounds like Avon, and it makes my job a hell of a lot easier while I drink like a pirate, or at least a 16-year-old with a wine pack or fruity cooler. Here we go. She's shining. Her name is Lauren. Or Lorraine, for the French out there. Scotty Henderson. Henderson kids. Goldie.
Hello.
G'day, mate. How you going?
I'm going good.
Do you mind if I call you mate as a lass?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't care what you call me as long as you call me.
If I call you Betty, will you call me Al?
If you like.
Dun, 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 dun. While you're sitting there, team, what I want you to have in the back of your head is the beautiful lyrics of the song, Baby Shark Dum Dum Da Dum Da Dum, Baby Shark Dum Dum Da Dum Da Dum Dum Bum Bum. Try getting that out of your head. When you actually get through, when they get through Kapooka or Singo, I want them to say that to their own platoon commander, so that's sitting there keeping him awake in an ambush when he's got the sweat of another man running down his crack.
Yeah. Chat's going thick and fast. Do you have time for a couple of comments?
Absolutely. Before we get into the data, the tables that I've got prepared for you to ram down you. Give me something, Kaz.
Okay, here we go. Ricky Middleton. How's it going?
Ricky Martin.
Yep, ladies
She bangs,
and
she
gents.
bangs.
Sitting at Kapooka right now, waiting to come home for Christmas, stand down. Love it here and good to see your stream, Kaz. 14 Platoon Bravo Company says hello.
Oh, A14. Hi, A14. Undies on your head. No, not like that anymore. They're co-ed platoons.
Okay, Nicholas Metcraft says he has terrible news tonight, fellas, but it's not the end of the world. I'd just like to let you know, Kaz, it's not that bad. He heard back from his case manager and he's looking at having to do a 6-month course in math and English to get accepted. That's okay. There is no shame in remedial education. Do what you've got to do, a little bit more time to prepare, Nicholas, and then you'll hopefully be away.
Absolutely. And you know what? I absolutely take my hat off if I wasn't wearing headphones to the people that go and do the extra mile, whether it be medically, whether the green mile, if you will, to the people that go and do the extra schooling or whatever is requested of them. It's amazing. And what it is your action makes believers of all of those that may be looking at you and say, why would you do that? They stop saying that when they see that you're not full of shit, you're not just talking, you're not just putting things on Facebook and Instagram, you're actually choosing action. So, mate, hat off to you. The only shame people should have is if they fail the PFA. But in saying that, you do more than one, and maybe the first one is what you need to hit rock bottom and realise, holy shit, I couldn't get to a route, and I'm only 19 years old.
Yeah, a bit of education will serve you well in life. Don't worry about it, you know, because like I'm hopeless at math. I just can't understand it. So, you know, I need remedial education a lot. JC's here. Michael Stott is here. Can I just do a little PS for the new people?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, little public service announcement for the new people. Hello, welcome. If it's your first time here, please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the thumbs up below the screen because we love that. If you'd like to join, if you're on a PC, there should be a join button down below, or you can go to the Patreon, which there should be a link in the description. Is there, Kaz?
No, I haven't put it in this one.
Oh, right, but there is a Patreon. It's in the trenches with Kaz, I think. And you can find us there, and you can join the Legion, which is great. The money goes towards helping other people.
2 seconds. That Legion doesn't mean Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
HIV-related sores on the forehead.
No, or the demons. But we do. It's okay to repeat questions. If you've got a question, just don't spam them all straight away after each other. In here, it's okay if the chat answers your questions. There's a lot of really experienced veterans, but if you are not in the army yet, it's better that you don't answer questions on the whole recruiting process or being in the services. There are plenty of veterans in the chat who can happily assist people, because I know you probably wouldn't want to give them dud information. And there's plenty of people there to assist them, from Mr. Patterson to JC to S. Bryce, Michael Stott, even JP pops in. Sometimes there's heaps of veterans in there to help with the questions.
And there's a lot of lurking veterans who are very serious characters. So be careful what you say to who you say, because a lot of them can find you in a hurry. We've also... We had one there from... where was it? It's going too quickly. Okay, Joel Hurdle. Fair dead ARES Combat Engineers is full today, so I might go infantry or cav instead. I would say go infantry or cav. If you're an Army Reserve and you have an academic kind of job, management job, whatever, do the opposite of what you do in the civilian life. Go and do something that will actually make a better version of you by creating a second version of you that becomes a hybrid. You go back, you get the best of both. Yep.
And then you become a real balanced person who is sort of skilled at a lot of things, which is really good. Tasmanian Devils getting excited. They're waiting for their Year 12 results this week, and then they're calling up to book their assessment session. It's getting exciting.
It is, and you've got plenty of time to train. And what we heard from 14 Platoon, Hallway 14, is that they're about to go home on leave. The rest of the Army pretty much is home on leave, unless they're on the active duty guys that are on call that will actually work all the way through those holidays, and they will actually do... they will do rehearsals of call-outs as a readiness battalion group in case glass was to smash during this time. So if you're from the red chip and you think we're not ready, we're always ready. The word for that is listo, which means ready in Spanish. Or for the 1st Battalion, if we've got any Kiwis out there, kura take hipuni, which means we are ready. Australians are always ready.
We are. We're born ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacko Mola.
Good name.
Says, good shit, mate. Thanks for all your help and motivation, even though you don't know it. Kapooka and Singo, here I come. He's just got to breathe through the PFA.
Yep. If you don't have a pass mark at your PFA, you should have to have sex with a man.
You know? What? No, you don't have to have sex with anyone you don't want to, folks.
Well, no, if you fail. It's easy for me to say. And by the way, team, all I'm waiting for is for the airports to say you can go, and I'm going to Nam. And you're going to see such videos as, what would you like to eat, sir? And my response will be, whatever you don't think I'll like, sir. That's right. I'll be eating the foods that you wouldn't touch with a bayonet.
Kanjini's here, worried he's late. Don't worry, we've just started.
We've just started, mate, and we're going to whack some data up for you.
Now chat's settled down, you go for it.
Yeah, no worries. Merry Christmas, team. This is the month of December for giving. If you were Islamic, if you were Buddhist, if you were something that is not Christian faith, I don't care. You can still come to my place on Christmas and swing a bat. It's about family. It's about your family, and you treat that day the way you want to treat it. You know, you go out and you have a great time, and welcome to Australia, New Zealand, and the Western world. no matter who you are from these secular societies, you know, this is a time for family, for eating prawns. They're the only ones that miss out, them and the ham, but they won't if you're Islamic. Eat ham, that is.
No, that's right, unless Lauren makes you sandwiches.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of things up and we'll talk through those logically so you understand where we're going. So there is actually some branches on tonight's stream and you understand what we're trying to do. And Carl, if you're on a rooftop, mate, put the headphones in. That's the least you can do to stay safe, my friend. And all the best to you young fellas. Bam. Here we go. This is where we get to start off. This is the BFA team. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some standards and then we're going to ask about, well, how do I get there, Caswell? That's what I'm here for to tell you. Right. So this is one of the things. I'm going to put the glasses in or the monoculi.
You put them on.
Oh. Wait 2 seconds. What do you call a man with one ball?
What?
A failed juggler.
Oh my gosh.
What was your mind in the gutter?
It was.
Right. Now, I don't know. I do not know if this was part of this or this was attached to this as a meme because it's low picking fruit at the moment to attack the CDF, okay, the Commander of the Defence Force, Lieutenant General Angus Campbell. Hysteria in some Aussie media today, women in Australian Army, one standard for all, volunteer and pass test to serve in their chosen cause, demanding life, no exceptions, no free passes, no standards lowered. Every soldier earns the right to wear the rising sun, proud of you all. Yet, straight underneath, this is the BFA scores. Do not mix this up with PFA, which is the Pre-enlistment Fitness Assessment, which is apparently for both at the moment now, 15 push-ups, 40, okay, I'll do it in order. 15 push-ups, 45 sit-ups, which is more of a hip flex, okay, and then it goes on to the 7.5 of the beep test. There is no excuse to fail that, and if there is an excuse, fail it once, but not the second time, okay? And you don't do BFA push-ups, sit-ups, and beep tests to prepare for that test. You run, you do push-ups, you do sit-ups, you make sure that you use your phone to record yourself, okay, so you can see the video, see where you might be falling short, and then from there you readjust, and then you go for it, and you'll be laughing. But let's have a look at the scores. Everything that was said above is an absolute contradiction because there is age scales that differ, but there's also a double standard which we cannot get past. It is, in fact, the elephant in the room, and let's leave the ivory out of it, despite the fact that I've got, don't hate on me, it's older than most of you in chat. Bam, real ivory just here. The elephant in the room.
Oh, no.
There we go. That's real ivory, team. No one gives a shit about a prawn, you know, but they care about an elephant. It's all about size and brain matter, I guess. Okay. So let's have a look at it. Lauren, so it doesn't come from me looking like a facetious bastard. Can you see the screen at the moment?
I can, but I might have a bit of lag.
Okay, that's all right. What I want you to do is tell me how many push-ups does an 18-year-old girl have to be able to do?
Okay, the top table is females?
Yes.
21.
Okay, tell me what age a man is before he's only got to do 20 or 21.
Oh, 41 to 45.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's move over. Let's have a look at sit-ups. Okay, that's the same for both. Let's have a look at a run. Let's have a look at a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old girl doing the 2.4 kilometre run.
Okay, that's 13.30.
Okay, how long or how old is a man before he has 13:30 to do his run?
Yeah, for 30...
Nope.
Hang on, no, 46 to 50.
46 to 50 years old. So let's wipe that out and say there absolutely is no double standard. There is a pay discrepancy that ladies get paid to do less work than men, and men would lose their job if they did the same result as women. Yeah. But that doesn't have to, that should not chap your ass. That's the system. That's the way it is.
But I'm confused about the tweet now.
Well, that's right. Well, we're
It says
showing
one
what
standard for all, but obviously it's not.
Well, actually, there's about 20 standards,
It would
depending
just
on
be
what age you
one
are.
table. It would just be one table if it was one standard for all.
That's right. There'd be one. There'd be only 3 columns, but there'd only be one line, and that would be everyone would have to do, say, 50 push-ups, would have to do 64 sit-ups, and would have to run 12 minutes. But there's so many discrepancies there, but that extends as well, because fitness is not just that table which you have to do that is actually lurking. Is a lurker here? Jay Hayes, not cerebral palsy. Boom. Okay, so that is waiting for you on day 2 of the School of Infantry. Yet at Kapooka, there's not really any PT at the moment. 14 platoon, is that still correct? Just join the RAF? No, we don't do that. We don't go halfway. If you want to go to RAF, that's fine. If your parents were in RAF, that's fine. That's awesome for you. But if you're military, we're talking about the highest level of enlistment is Army. The highest level of enlistment in Army is infantry, which everyone has to be prepared to do, and that includes Air Force and Navy. All right, then this is the standard. But the other standard is there's 4 med classes. You've got your med class 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got your J categorizations, all that sort of stuff. If you can't pass the BFA because you've been either let down by the system at Kapooka or the lowering of standards, okay, then what's going to happen is you will get 2 options. When you fail, you will be sent to the RAP, the Regimental Aid Post, and from there they'll say, did you fail that test due to fitness, or did you fail that test due to psychological standing, that 1, you aren't ready, you don't want to be here, or any other type of thing. Because remember, when you turn up on the day to do any physical test, whether it be the Pre-enlistment Fitness Assessment, whether it be the Basic Fitness Assessment, whether it be the personal employment or the physical employment standards assessment, whether it's one of those, you will still get asked by a physical training instructor as you turn up, okay, everyone here, is there anyone that has any reason, ailment, or injury that may preclude them from giving their best effort today? And if you do not put your hand up and get sent over to another PDI who's waiting with a scoreboard, there is nothing that you can say that can get you out of the shit. You're a professional athlete. Make no mistake. You're getting paid to pass. When you don't pass, you can go, okay, there's going to be a retest. If you fail that, then you're already going down the line of a medical or administrational discharge.
Major Payne says that there is PT at Kapooka. He had 4 sessions this week.
Good. That's great news, because we've heard other people say that PT dropped off completely because of COVID, and COVID should not affect a single thing because you've already been quarantined. You've already got there. It's not there. There's not a breakout. Break out. Righto?
Righto.
So, Marcus, good Roman name there. Codeface. That's a good name. Best Australian Army channel out there. Haven't been here for a while. I love your name, but Chris Barr. Now I'm thinking of chocolate. The lurker, he's here.
Yeah, the lurker is here.
JC, everyone has their goals. Not everyone thinks that the Army is at the top. I certainly don't. Well, it's the one with the highest standards to get in. I certainly don't think the Army is the top and infantry is the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. JC, you have either been drinking too much, sir, or you're playing a joke.
Spoken like a true Raffy.
Yeah, but it's good. I can hear everyone going, oh, who's this JC fella?
No, I think they know who JC is.
He's a top lad.
Yeah, he is. And of course those, if the infantry, physical standards, they're going to be pretty frightening to someone from the chair force.
Look, I got to tell you, they're scary for everyone when they turn up to the School of Infantry, when they realise that we're not in Kansas now, Dorothy,
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Okay, JC doubles up. My opinion is to join the military to gain skills for the future or join for a lifelong career. Infantry is not good on the body and in my opinion is not a lifelong career.
Yeah, yeah. A lot
Okay,
of
JC?
friends are just getting out now, and they've been there for like, gosh, a long time.
Yeah, no, JC, I'm not going to buy it because there's truth behind what you're saying.
Yeah, it's true. It is really. That's why you have to be really careful. Like, if you've already gotten a physical issue and you want to join up, maybe infantry isn't for you.
Yeah, and I've got to tell you, having been in the infantry for 24 years, you will not get out of a 24-year career without injuries. I just didn't expect to get a Navy-related injury. I got an arsehole disease that I didn't expect to get in East Timor.
Yeah.
You know, so all this teasing at Navy might be that I'm a little bit, a little bit triggered by the fact that I get a butt-related incident.
Oh, it's banter. It's how we show we care.
Yeah. Hayden, how's it going, everyone? Just completed my aptitude test, which I believe is the scariest test in the world. Ended up being nothing like the preparation test online. Well done. So he's done great. Good to have you here, mate.
Yeah. Aussie born and bred said he's got an assessment day next year, and he's nervous for the BFA under 25 and going army.
Well, guess what? You've got more time than Conor McGregor gets for his fights to get ready, so you'll have no excuse. Your time starts not tomorrow, starts right now. Shave your beard. Get into it.
Yeah.
You're under 25. The girls will judge you on what you do next.
Yeah, it's true. Koala laser, I think he means sniper, is being a sniper hard. I think there's a bit of math and, you've got to be good at being an infantryman, right?
Well, you've got to be a good infantryman so you know how to hunt infantrymen because only a small proportion of sniping is actually the shooting component.
Exactly.
They've got the weapon that can do that. You've got a number two to assist you. You've got the training to capulate that and make sure that you have no excuse to miss. But you have to be in a position, and one of the things that can bring a lot of people unstuck, and remember, there's a sniper that lives in the same house as Miss Loren.
That's true.
And he will let you know that one of the hardest things about the sniping is being able to communicate and how to be able to, look at me stumbling over words here, public speak. Because you're going to be a low rank speaking to a high ranking person, potentially telling him no when he asks for this and you go, I cannot do that. I cannot achieve that mission. My job is not there to be an observer. My job is to be there as a kinetic capability to prosecute a target and make it go poof and not in an Army, Navy kind of way.
Yeah, he's actually run into a bit of trouble like that.
Yeah. If you can't talk well, then they're not going to believe that you can actually perform that task. And you've got to remember, if you can't fake that job. If you're a sniper and you've got a number two with you, the last thing you want is to go outside the wire and put yourself at risk, with someone that either gonks off, as soon as they bloody lay down and are in an uncomfortable position, narcolepsy comes over, takes them down, and bam, they're asleep, sucking off the invisible man, while you're trying to, get some ranges on.
Now, Koala is just a cadet at the moment, but has a question that probably a lot of young people who come here have. Is the training the same as in the movies?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, it is. That's where they base their movies from military veterans, etc., who come in there as advisors. Look, I'm going to explain something to you. The fitness tests are just an ongoing test. It is a way of testing you in a confined space with maximum supervision so they can put something on paper and standardise that said training across the board and across the Western world for that matter. But the PT that you actually do, is going to be ramped up or coming down depending on what your action cycle is at the time. Are you getting ready for a big field exercise or a military skills competition? Then it's going to ramp up. Are you getting ready to go on operations? It's going to ramp up. Have you come back? It's going to scale down. When the time for fitness, some of the training that you must do is while you're away on holidays. Not so much the Easter, not so much the September, the two leave brackets there, but the end of year BRL. Because when you go away, you can be away for 8 weeks. Some people have a slow metabolism. They may be a mesomorph, endomorph, or ectomorph. If you're an endomorph, that means you pull the fat cord easy. You have one bloody smorgasbord a day and you seem to put on weight. Funny. And, from there you come back and you're absolutely going uphill to try and pass the basic standard. And you can go through the acclimation phase again. But everything we do, the hardest thing you'll do physically is the actual job. So you can tap out, you can embarrass yourself in a PT session, vomit mum's spaghetti all over your own shirt, keeps on forgetting. Okay, I get that. And that's where it comes out in observations. But remember, you'll be reported on every single month by someone like Dave, who'll be watching you and writing a report. Below average, average, above average. Give that guy a BFA. I doubt that his fitness ability. And if he can't make the fitness, maybe he can't go outfield. And that could start a dilemma that puts you towards an administration or medical discharge from the army. The other thing is, what if you're just fit enough? What if you're the least fit person and you go outfield with a platoon of 30 men and you are now moving at the pace of 29 people fitter than you in adverse conditions, carrying 60 kilos of equipment, doing bursts of energy with lack of sleep and lack of food? Who do you think is going to hit the ground, chuck a whitey, that's not being racist, I mean fainting, and potentially die on the ground with people going, huh, I could see that coming. You can't tap out outfield. You can't tap out in Tully. You can't tap out on operations. And if you do, if you are if you are withdrawn as a battlefield casualty because of your lack of physical toughness, your ability to look after your feet, to consume water, to know when to have salt so you don't cramp, then you're showing people that you're a rookie, that maybe you need to go back to lid. I never fell out of a single activity during my career, but I did get told one time, send that man back when my bum looked like a margarita pizza in my pants.
Oh, God. No, I like the margaritas at Cactus Jack's. You just put me off.
Yeah. Let's have a look at another screen.
Okay.
What you can do to help yourself right now if you're a little bit worried, team, is bad. Oh, shit. You can't see because of the chit. The chit. That's a medical restriction as well that stops you from doing some levels of PT. Let's get rid of the chat box for 2 seconds. So, if you go on to the ADF app and it's waiting for you, team, that will get you ready with the technical aspects of passing or preparing for the fitness test, the beep test, the sit-ups, the push-ups. It will teach you how to do it. It will have all that. There's also my video, okay, on the PFA with a bit of humour thrown in, the ready sailor position, where you'll be good to go. So check that out, the ADF app. I'm going to leave that up there for about another minute before I turn it off. Robbie Kent, Lauren, you let Kaz know that I ran into Dylan, who joined up Army 343 a few years ago, and his channel version 1.0 helped him learn and prepare for joining up. To this day, he is thankful. That's awesome, mate, and Dylan is a fantastic name. Sorry?
Yeah, I didn't even have to let you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love that name. Dylan's a good name. You've got to be able to play bloody guitar when your name is Dylan.
Yeah, I think I remember Dylan.
JC's got someone doing a burnout.
Is it a good one?
He can't even hear it. It's in a Tesla. Both are important. Giuliano sticker, you can't do without him. Giuliano, what's the question? Giuliano sticker, hey Kaz, which is more important or relevant in the army, physical fitness or mental toughness? You won't have mental toughness with no physical toughness. If you had mental toughness, you'd be fit. Yeah,
it's about that balance as well, isn't it? And being a well-rounded person.
Yeah. Anecdotal here, right?
Okay.
I was so scared when I went to join the army because I weighed 58 kilos and my dad said, for someone that weighs fuck all, you've got a big bloody mouth, son, you know? As he was preparing his fishing gear, saying I'd need a bit bloody bigger hook to get someone like you. And, you cod. And anyway, so I started to go, oh shit, as I changed to infantry, and I realised, how fit you'd have to be, and all I did was fitness, fitness, fitness. My level of fitness was off tap, but I was 58 kilos, so I wasn't moving much weight. Now you're wearing body armour, carrying weapons, not necessarily heavier, not any extra ammunition, but by the time you do your helmet, by the time you do your ballistic equipment, your rifle with all its add-ons, you're weighing over 20 kilos, and that's considered fighting order. That's not even marching order yet. So if you're a lass that weighed 45, 50 kilos, they can't even do it. You see the poor lasses when they put the stuff on, and you're going, she can't even look out from underneath the helmet. And now you want her to fire and move, lucky she's not in infantry, because she could be behind you with a lack of fitness or physical strength, with also with the shutters coming in, audio shut out as well, tunnel vision, live rounds in a cone of fire, where she could literally put you and kill her own friends in training.
And you can't tell me that's fair on her.
It's not fair on her, and it's not fair on other people to have an incorrect team with them.
Yeah, exactly. But if they're saying, yeah, you can do it, and they just can't, that's someone's, someone's responsible.
Yeah. And I've got to tell you, I'm a lot harsher on guys than what I was on gals, I tell you. When we bring this up, don't think that this is shitting on female soldiers or candidates. They deserve the truth. They deserve the truth.
No, because, we have regulars here who, like Nicole King and that, who are female veterans. Yep. It's nothing to do with that. It's just the truth, and some people can't handle it.
And there was a reason when they said that women could come to infantry, but first it had to be the ones who were actually in service. How many lady soldiers in the Australian Army attempted to go for infantry? Stoddy, try to have a guess, or Daz, how many do you reckon that knew what infantry was about, attempted to go over and have a go at infantry?
Was there maybe a couple? I don't know. I wouldn't know.
It's the same shape as Michael Stott's butthole.
Oh.
0. None. And if I was a young lass that wanted to join infantry and I saw that not one wanted to do it, I'd go, uh-oh, these girls that are doing a pretty good job seem to know something that I don't know yet, and I'm going to listen to the experts. Yep. Okay, what do we got? Carl. Nah, not one. None. They end up getting a lass that they tried to prepare, and she was a female officer at one area, and they went to prepare her, but she couldn't pass the PESA test. She kept failing. And Joe V for victory. Put a female in a foxhole with one male, and someone is coming home pregnant.
That's not necessarily true. I have more faith in the men who are serving, because you work with women all the time.
And I've never been pregnant.
No, and you're also enjoy yourselves. I mean, you're all very well behaved on Navy ships and things like that. So that's a little bit ignorant. That's not true.
I will tell you something, but there is a soldier that was saying that he was told they had the option in training that they could end up being in the same lines, potentially sharing the room with a co-ed room, male and female. And under no circumstances can that ever happen, because I'd be scared for the male in case any accusation that he cannot get out of, whether he glanced, whether he's got a sleazy glare to his eye after he has half a Corona or a slice of pizza, whether there's a vexatious complaint. Do not make these issues. But you know what, even worse? If I had a daughter in the army and I found out they were putting her in with an 18-year-old soldier who is led by testosterone, I wouldn't want her in that room either. So it's common sense. Hey, Matty the Shepherd. Hey, Kaz, if this is too early, but you put me in the book for Dun & Troon January. I haven't got the new list up there, Matty. We're going to put that out real soon, because if I put it up too early, then I'll have to put it up again. Yep. I'll put that up at the start of the new year. Yep. Alex G, not Alex the Kid. Frost, yes, that's for the Army. That's they close up shop on December 18th, sometimes right down to the 4th, 5th and 6th. It depends how much leave you've got. And back on January the 4th, normally the 17th and after, my enlistment coordinator suggested I would come a week back. That's in training. You know, if you're in the battalion, it's not uncommon to leave near the start of December and come back in the second half to the later stages of January, depending on the rank you are, because private soldiers come home later than those with rank that need to go and actually do their compulsory training, etc., and deal with the situations that private soldiers don't need to necessarily know about. Let's get rid of that one. And we've got this one.
I'm trying to keep up. I'll just remind the moderators,
don't go too hard on people.
Yeah, because I see like Major Payne just got actually banned. So you're going to have to go into your jail in a minute after the stream, Kaz, and let him back out because he didn't get timed out. He actually got banned. Yeah. Oh, no, it's all right. Fugly sorted it out.
Okay.
Just time out first, unless they're a real dick and we can all agree on it. It's okay if they don't agree with JC, Mr. Patterson, you, even Kaz.
That's right.
They don't agree. But if they're being rude about just time them out. You know, and JC, you do not have to go to every single argument you're invited to.
Kaz, is there Marco Russo? No, there's not. We haven't actively had the role of seeking out and close the enemy, you know, for a long time, mate. At the moment, you could consider quite clearly that the Australian Army is at the moment in a peacetime army. And I think at the moment they're holding their breath and they're wondering what the hell is happening next. And it seems like we don't need to go overseas. It seems like we've got our own fox in the chicken house, so to speak. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at that. This is when we talk about fitness. Naturally, people start to think Special Forces. What if I was to go to Special Forces? You need to understand something. If you're going to go to Special Forces, you have to go to infantry. Now, I don't mean SASR, Special Air Service Regiment. What I'm talking about here is the 2nd Commando Regiment. 2nd Commando Regiment, advanced infantry, the guys that go in hard-hitting platoons, get the job done. It's called raids. And I'm not talking about World of Warcraft, which has just released Shadowlands. Okay? What I'm talking about is they go in platoon strength, and that is a larger conglomeration of soldiers led by a captain, not a lieutenant, right, in the operational theatre. Now, if you were to go for that method of entry, this is how you do it. Right? It's easy to follow this box down, and that's the girls that you'll be getting. It doesn't mean she's still not crazy, you know, but the level that you will get, because girls still want alpha males. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's true.
Method of entry. Special Forces Direct Recruitment Scheme. Civilian entrance. Guys, when you see these guys, you realise they're set apart. They are beasts, these guys. You know, and a lot of times they're older as well. They also still have a phenomenal failure rate. Okay, other than that, they will be competing with the blue box, the in-service transfer ADF personnel. Right, phase 1, the initial military training, Kapooka. For those that are in the blue box, you've already done Kapooka. So you'll go to the School of Infantry for phase 2, which is the initial employment training. Okay, depending on branch. Okay, so here we go. Stage 2. Phase 2, infantry employment training. You'll do the entire IET training as though you were actually doing a core transfer to infantry to learn all of the skills that are infantry. And that includes if you're from Armoured Corps Engineers, etc. or AGI. Right. When you complete that, if you don't, all the bets are off. You're not going to commandos anymore. You either go back to your old corps or you're in retread until you're kicked out of the army, or you pass and then stay in infantry. One of the two. Stage 3, just after you've done all of the IET training, and I'm sorry, questions will be with you in a second, then you go for your 6-week Special Forces Accelerated Infantry Training Program. Okay, and that says there, again, it's at Singleton. Participants are also the 15-week Commando Physical Training Package. Also commence the 5-week Commando Physical Training. So that is to get you ready for the next level. More push-ups, more cardio, more physicality, 3.2s, marches, individual marches, etc. From there, you go for the culmination is a 7-hour Special Forces screening test. Pass, go, keep going. If not, again, either retest or see you later. All right. Stage 4, 6-week Commando selection and training course. Special Forces Training Centre, Singleton. Are you getting the theme? You haven't left Singo yet. And then if you get through there, guess what you get rewarded with? Another 11 months of training. The reinforcement cycle, where you're going to go and do all of your courses that'll give you your para roles, okay, your amphib roles, your close quarter battle drills, etc. So when you look at that and you look at things in the perspective that you're talking about, joining the military is the pre-enlistment fitness assessment, I can pass it, that is nowhere near this level. And you're going to get trained by some of the smartest physical trainers that are available for functional fitness. But any stage, either luck, injury, repetition, or your body can fail and all the bets are off. And then once you get to Commando, you might be doing surfing for PT. But when the glass crashes, you will be 100% involved. Yep. There is no slackening off, so to speak.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Are you going back to the chat now for a
minute?
minute?
Yeah, of course. Let's do that.
Okay. Waitsy is heading off to Duntroon in January, and he is very excited, and we're excited for you.
He should be. What's that?
He should be.
I had a blowout.
A blowout? What sort of blowout?
Wait 2 seconds. I'm just getting rid of that slide there.
Okay.
We'll let the chat back on. Sorry, I kiboshed that before. Bam. There we go. That's a Gurkha, by the way, team. I've worked with those guys too. They normally sign on for 20 years from Nepal and then usually get attached to either the British Army or the Indian Army. Yep.
Yep. The Gurkhas are lovely folk. Like, they used to tattoo shop and talk to me.
They're actually cute.
They're adorable.
Yep.
They are. They're so gentle and quiet and polite.
Short and happy.
Yeah, lovely. They're always smiling. They liked it because they had a little statue of Ganesh in there.
Yep. Imagine turning up to that guy and him looking in the face when he signed on for 20 years and he's got his parents' name, his family name, and I think you get named in Nepal, tell me if I'm wrong, I've heard this in a video, that you're named after the day you're born on, okay, the day of the week, and if there's something unique about you, you can actually earn to have a name that is separate, which makes you so important. Yep.
No, I wouldn't know, but that's very interesting.
Yeah. Hey, King Collins. How you going, mate? That's a big Collins right there. Lion-esque.
Lion-esque.
Yeah. I saw a video yesterday and it was actually quite sad, you know. And it was what happens when shit goes wrong for animals that fuck with lions. And it was when the lion actually surprises a cheetah or surprises a leopard or catches a hyena. And it's slow, it's brutal, and it's deliberate, and it's angry. And you go, Jesus, that's not just about winning. It's just, you know, they absolutely make an example of what they catch, and they don't eat it. They kill it, tear it to pieces, and leave it there as a reminder. Yep.
Mm. Wow. I probably wouldn't watch that video. That would make me a bit sad. I know it's nature. I know it's how things are, but still.
Hey, Mr. Brutal. Shrub. There you go, mate. I was doing my barrier test with Dan Pronk.
There you go.
Yep, and we went from that to Interfet in 1999.
Daz wants to know, has his package rolled up yet?
No. I better go and check the letterbox, sir. Is it ticking?
Well, it should be by now because there's been a few streams he's asked. Mind you, it's Christmas time. I think Australia Post goes kind of slow at Christmas.
Daz, I'll definitely check my letterbox, mate. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Koala has asked, have you read the book Courage Under Fire?
I've got to be honest, I don't read any books that aren't glossy.
Then it's the
I
books,
would
right?
never have time to read a book, mate. You know, if I'm not answering a phone, I'm looking after a daughter, or I'm looking after a puppy, I'm looking after myself, or I'm planning a video, or I'm speaking to one of my compadres, or I'm making a thumbnail.
Yeah,
I don't think people have any idea whatsoever about how much actually goes into a channel when you're an army of one.
yeah,
You're used to seeing channels where they have multiple people who are holding cameras, you know, and Aaron might as well be crickets. Aaron the Hitman Dixon, he always makes it for the Patreon lunch, but
yeah.
you'll never see him. Joy. So I have another aptitude test for commandos, or does my score go towards it? No, there'll be an additional test for special forces, mate. Yep. There'll actually be a board where they will speak to you, mate. Like your
Yep.
name, Joy.
Yep, indeed. And don't believe Michael Stott in the chat, everybody. He's actually very well read. He's can speak about literature for a long time.
He's a reader of books,
He is. He's the smart one. He's book smart.
and not just glossy.
Yeah, exactly. Real books with words and not so many pictures.
I've just had an announcement that one of my shares apparently
Yep.
might be getting ready to go crazy, and it's in Pepsi. No, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Leaving you then.
Dave, do you have anything for us, mate? You bloody spanner. Robbie Kent, I'm on a reread of Tell My Sons. All right, what are you going to tell them? That's okay, Joy. Okay,
Yeah.
Caleb was telling us Nepalese children are named 11 days after the birthday ceremony called Nawaran. I hope I haven't butchered that. A priest visits the home to give the child a name according to their birth details. So I was almost completely wrong.
That's very interesting. It's interesting how people do it differently. I think Rory was saying in India, in some places, you don't even get a last name.
Well, it was for so long in our history you didn't get a surname. You know, you had to earn your name. Not only do we take our names for granted. I want to do a video on this. It's time to bring shame back. Our society is falling down the way it is because shame is taken off the table. There's 100 things to be embarrassed about. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
and there is nothing wrong being shamed back into behaving or looking after yourself better
Good
or
for
treating others.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. It helps you self-regulate your behaviour. You have to be accountable to other people. Otherwise, it's a free-for-all.
Yep. Lauren will know the answer to this. What used to happen to a man if he was seen to be nagged by his wife? Do you know what used to happen?
Lots of stuff.
But do you know what they used to do?
What?
They used to take his clothes off, put him on a donkey, facing backwards, tied up, and then whip him and hurt him and throw things at him for being such a pussy and lead it through the village so he got attacked by the men and women.
Yeah. Well, I know the Bible says it'd be better to live on a corner of your roof than to live with a nagging wife. Europa Insanity says, "Hey Kaz, I've been declined for combat roles because DFR believes I have a facial tic. So my new roles are intelligence analyst, driver, and cargo operator."
Look, I would take you in my call sign like that. If there's anything that is going to affect its intelligence, if you've got a facial tic and you're dealing with soldiers for another country and they go, "You're going to be safe out there today," and you're in the background going, whoa, they're going to go, what the hell's going on with that guy? Are you lying to me? Are we in trouble? Are we going to get hit?
After enough years in infantry, you all develop a few facial tics anyway. So.
Girl walks past, "Do I look fat in these pants?" And you're, whoa. Stand up, who's got a problem with what I just said, Chief of Army, and you're, huh?
Yeah.
What? Who is that man? I would let you come and work for me, mate. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Do you know what I'd do? I'd go, "Mate, you can tease me because I'm about to tease you about your facial tic. I want you to tease me about 3 or 4 things you can see. Get it out of your system, and then I'll tease you back, and then we'll just get on with life so you realise it's no big drama, mate."
Exactly. Everyone gives as good as they get, and everyone's got something. And
Jay,
that's
JC's off to the range tomorrow. Be careful, mate. Watch out who's behind you, JC.
yeah. Have fun.
Yep. We've seen a lot of police that should only have a starter's gun in their pocket. But it's good to have JC back in uniform.
Yeah, it is. That's excellent. But there's nothing wrong with those roles that are his new picks, right?
What's his new picks?
I think he said intelligence. Hang on,
Excellent.
Intelligence analyst.
Okay.
Driver and cargo operator.
How quick can you change that and go intelligence analyst?
You will, yes. You could. If you
okay, so we've got intelligence analyst. What's the other two?
Driver or cargo operator.
Cargo operator, if that's like air dispatch and stuff like that, pretty technical role. Gives some excellent qualifications later in the military. You know, you're dealing with military cargo, which means you get a couple of chances if it falls and smashes and hits the ground, which you won't in the civilian industry, maybe. Driver gives you some awesome long haul tickets on some big rigs, but are you actually training into something that's about to be an obsolete role with the new Tesla fleet trucks coming out? And intelligence comes down to how old are you, mate, because you need a level of life experience before you can actually go and do intelligence roles, because a lot of it is to do with wisdom, not intelligence, so to speak.
Yep.
I'd love to do intelligence, mate. I'd want to do that for free.
Yeah, that'd be fun, I reckon. It's Lucy has asked, hey Kaz, what would you recommend to improve aerobic fitness?
Oh, look, mate, I believe in leading an active lifestyle. I used to go for runs, long runs. I used to go for short runs. I used to go for surfing, do push-ups, do boxing. You know, whatever you do, an active lifestyle will make you good at everything. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, don't spend all your time trying to perfect one thing. Just be overall fit. And then when you get in the military, you'll see what the standard is. And then from there, you see where you're lacking, maintain the others, and work on what you're weak on. And there is no way you can work on the toughness aspect. That comes with playing the second half of football in winter in Victoria. That comes with being in the surf, hearing out the back, when you don't think you can even throw another bloody punch, you know. And the waves, nature hates you. Nature wants you dead.
Especially in Australia.
Yeah, gravity wants you dead. The ocean wants you dead. If you don't believe me, why does it drag you to the bottom, kill you, then make you float again?
Yeah, because it's finished with you, just like them lions.
Yeah, it doesn't even want you on that beach. I'm going to wash you down to that other loser's beach. Get in the rip. Hey, Waitsy.
Yeah, Michael Stott's right. Ancient people were tough on simps.
Yep.
They were. Because here's the thing, right? When we were young, if you did something cringy, you just didn't do it. You regulated yourself because you thought ahead. Okay, my actions are going to have consequences, and those consequences might be cringe, you know, and you just didn't do it.
Jacko says, shotgun a Corona and he'll give me a kiss. Okay, he didn't say give me a kiss. You know, that's the booze talking, all right?
Yeah.
For a $5 donation. Yeah, look, mate, it's all right. You're okay, Jacko.
It's fine.
You know, I only scull Pepsi, and the only reason is because that cannot be appreciated other than the colour or the sister of the Kardashians that drinks it, because she is as hot as an oven top.
Which
Absolutely. One? The one that went in the Pepsi ad and then got basically ruined a career over it.
Kendall?
The one that, yeah, I think so.
The model, yeah.
I don't like it when you call her that, because that sounds like Ken doll, and I'm not after a dude.
I call her Kenny then.
No, that's even worse, because now I think of Grant. The bloody Nutrigrain. Hey, yeah. Mr. Bryce is here.
Yes, Bryce is here.
How you going? You know, Mr. Bryce, now you can literally say, oh, I got stabbed last week.
Yeah, he did. That's right. And that's like I was saying to Fugly before, you know, chicks dig scars because he has a few stitches from his incident last week.
Everyone I know used to think that they wanted to get shot in an area that doesn't hurt You know, so you could have the scar, you know. But I don't want that cordite itchiness for the rest of my life. Pepsi Max, it's not even a bigger can. They're so confused, Mr. P. Get it out of your goddamn titanium cup or I'm going to take it back. Jason Partel. Hey, guys, what's the go? 50 likes. We've got 78 people here right now. Either hit the like or I hope there's a scorpion under your pillow tonight.
Oh, that's rough.
No, well, I saw a video today and it made me, with my old age bladder, if I was 1 year old, I would have pissed myself. And the bloke basically says, hey, Zaki Talib, can you please leave a great comment down there? Everyone, Zach, can we please get some thumbs up for Zach in the chat? Follow him on. If you're not with Zach, you know, come on, get on. Become a zombie fair for a second until I change it up. Great to have you here, mate.
Welcome.
Come from the US Army background. I tell you what, Zach, mate, I've always seen the US as our brothers and what they're going through at the moment. You know, I really want to put an arm around and buy them a carton of beer and hope for the best, because I tell you, if someone's going to ask for your loyalty in the uniform, you know, and you believe that you're being led by someone who stole the election, if he gets in, I don't think he will. I think the T-Man's got some surprises coming down the pipe. But I'm telling you, I would not want to follow not only a chief of the army I don't agree with or a major that I don't agree with, but if I thought I was going to get sent somewhere where my life was going to be in danger for someone I do not want to follow, that puts me in a shitty position. Cody Brown, never frown with Cody Brown. See what happens? I've had one beer and a bit.
Yeah, that was just for you, Mr. Patterson. Fugly reckons chicks dig scars, but just not his. That's not true. You're like at least 20% tougher now.
That's right. They like scars on their ex-boyfriends.
Oh, come on now.
Hey, we've got Seb here. Seb, Laytonen? I'm sorry, mate. I butchered your name, haven't I, sir?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mate, what question you got, Seb? Good to have you here, mate. If anyone ever wants to do a call out for their kid, for their missus, for their other missus, for their mister, let us know and we'll do one out for them.
Yeah, exactly. We'll say g'day.
Because when you get to heaven, that's what we're going to say. We'll say g'day. Well, the Commander-in-Chief is the Commander-in-Chief. I've got no options, man. Well, that's true, Zach. And again, I do not mind. I would absolutely serve any chief of the Defence Force. No dramas. Because there's shitloads of officers between me and him I don't like either. And he may not like me.
Gosh, Rob's cracking me up. He said, I don't think chicks would appreciate me showing my vasectomy scar to them.
That's awesome. That's like if you come from Tasmania and the girl goes for a second opinion and you go out with your shirt and go, oh, sorry, can't give it anymore. Or when you go out winter and you're from Tasmania and you complain that your sleeping bag's only got one hood. Jacko Moller has become a member. Well done, Jacko. You don't get more Australian than the name Jacko. Is there another country that has Jackos? Whoops, I can't see it. Where are we? I'm going to get that back up there for you, mate. Cracking. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. I'm going to put that one on again for you, mate. We don't put many of these on at the moment. That's because we've done so many, Jacko. But here's for you. Enjoy your calamari, son. It's a cracking. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. Give me 2 seconds, team. I've got to call the young one.
Yeah, do that.
Lauren, I'll ring you back.
Yeah, okay.
Hey. Guys and gals, for those that don't know, I've got a beautiful little girl. I hope I meet her father one day. Joking. And she's got 2 days of school left. Hey, lovely Emma. Carl. Crack on, he says. Daz. 5 thumbs. 2 sailors and 1 armed man.
Welcome to the voicemail system.
Seb, great to have you here, mate. She'll ring back in 2 seconds. She'll ring back. She loves her dad sometimes. SRN's here.
Huh?
SRN's here. And look at Jacko. He's already throwing out the new promotion, just like SRN is. Jacko, in case you don't know, mate, a month from now, you're going to have Lance Corporal stripes, which is 1 stripe. Month after that, Section Commander. And at the 6-month mark, we're going to see some sergeants, and that's not far away at all. Jay Hayes, what's with the stupid comments?
Where?
Where are we? Look it up.
He's a cadet. He's just a kid.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. That's okay, Jay.
Yeah, that isn't really a great comment, though.
I didn't see it.
Just keep your comments about people getting shot and things like that to yourself. Think about what you're saying before you say it, because there is an awful lot of veterans in here, and a lot of them do actually have mental health issues, and most of them have deployed on at least 1 tour of duty. So please think about what you're saying.
And we've got a few that have been shot as well.
And yes, and I'll just tell you, Koala, it's not about Jay relaxing. Jay is exactly right. It's about you watching your mouth.
Mitchie L. You're about to see, for the first time in history, Mitchie L is here. He's just become a member.
Welcome, Mitch.
You know what? If I was in New Zealand, do you know what I'd be saying right now? Much is here.
Much is here.
Have some calamari, mate. And welcome.
Is here.
It's a kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
It's going good.
Guys, how cool does that Gurkha look?
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks like no nonsense, doesn't he? And
But
you know behind that he's a lovely guy who
so
wants to play cricket next. You know,
And they're so happy.
yeah. One of the things, pardon me, don't mind the piglet. One of the things that and hey, Mitch, can you please put a question down there so we know, so we can listen to what you got to say? Same deal, Seb.
Yeah, exactly. We'd like to get to know you all.
Can you please answer that question not answer the question, read that out so it becomes a team effort here on Seb?
I'll pull my weight. Hey, Kaz.
Okay, fatty.
Hey.
She's not.
Hey, Kaz, would you know much info about the parachute rigger job?
Yeah, well, I sort of do. I wasn't parachute qualified, but that's at, not at Amberley. That's at, down near Goulburn, I believe it is. Anyway, what it is, it's almost not a military job, Seb. You'll get jump qualified, but you'll be preparing shoots for Special Forces guys, etc. It used to be a job where you'd go and prepare the shoots, the low descent shoots for 3RR, the 3rd Battalion, Old Faithful of the Royal Australian Regiment. So when you go there, your job is pretty much just packing rigs, parachutes for other people. But you have to be able to pass a course. You have to be able to jump in a parachute that you've also done yourself. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know if that's what the option is for you, Seb, but I don't know what the long-term enjoyment you would get from that, to be honest. Because if you weren't doing that, then you could be still a free-fall guy who's at 1RR, 2RR or 3RR and jumping on weekends with permission with the commanding officer to go and lead out and do that and be part of teams, etc. And if you fall, it'll be over quickly. So riggers. I don't know. I've got to be honest with you, man. I don't think you would get a hell of a lot of enjoyment. And I've never actually known any riggers, mate, that have said that was a great career doing such a repetitive action. Private Man, greetings, Kaz. Do you think the CV vax will be mandatory for ADF personnel? Absolutely. That's a really, really good question from Private Man. Hey, look at Spider-Man's down there. Mr. A in Nowra. That's the word I was after, Nowra.
Yep.
And down there's only one woman left in the entire town that hasn't left like Officer and a Gentleman. Okay. That's a movie that everyone should have to watch before they join the military, I tell you. What was I going to say? Caleb, I can see what's about to happen.
Lucky no one's drinking for these Krakens.
That's true, because Stoddy's job is to have a run for those, but this is for
So,
Seb.
team, this video will be sent out.
That's not what I was after. That's for Seb. And then we're going to send this one out again for Caleb Verrill. Not Ferrell.
It's a Kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
I prefer calamari over squid, but if you're going to go and watch a video that is amazing, go and watch the octopus volcano. It is insanely good. Go on YouTube, leave my stream now if you want, and go and check it out, where you see animals, octopus, the devil's creature, respond 15 minutes quicker than what our latest technology can do on seismic interference before a volcano erupts. Amazing.
Someone's got a great question. They want to know what are those blades old mates got there? Could you explain about? Is that a kukri?
Yeah, that is a kukri knife. That is a traditional weapon that was carried by the Gurkhas. I don't know if they carry it anymore. We've had them over on exchange, not on exchange. We've had them attached to us at the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. Okay, second to none. We've had them there, and they were lovely people. I've worked with them over in Africa, and I don't believe they all had them over there. You know, but I do know they signed on for, I believe, 20 years. You know, and it's unlikely that they will fail in their job. It comes first. And one of them got a VC for his outstanding, fighting and bravery in Afghanistan when he held the corner of an FOB and got to the stage where he was fighting hand-to-hand and taking out people left and right. And by some sheer luck and ferocity, the Wolverine within, he prevailed and became
Amazing.
a hero.
Yeah.
Can I say something here, Lauren?
Go for it.
Had you ever heard of Ben Robert Smith before he got a VC? Had you heard of Kieran before he got his VC? Had you heard of any of our VC winners? No, because a lot of the time they're ordinary blokes like you that matured, were strong, were fit enough.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily the best at what they did.
Exactly. They just had to do what they had to do, and they rose to the occasion.
That's it. They actually get chosen by fate to be a trophy circumstance where they are tested in a way that they were basically chosen for that. It could have been you. It could have been them. 100 people might have been failed and you never would have heard them again. But we get tested in life. And it's what we do when no one's watching to train for the day that we're going to get tested that makes the difference. Mr. Bryce here, fantastic guy and veteran, got stabbed in an altercation. And it doesn't matter if he won, whether he lost, whether he got his ass kicked or not. But he ended up getting stabbed because he chose action when he saw a woman being harangued by a man and said, "Not on my watch, I won't walk by." And he got stabbed for his actions. But he did the right thing.
I do.
He passed the test.
Yeah, he did. He was
Cameron Baird.
Hot, and he did what he had to do.
Cameron Baird, another legend.
Good night, Mr. Patterson. Sleep
Good night,
well.
Mr. P. Good night, my man. And get that Pepsi out of that goddamn cup.
Yeah, that's just sacrilege, isn't it?
Press the like before you go, Mr. P. I know you're going to cringe at that.
He does it all the time.
I know.
He's like a speed liker.
Yeah. How long do you want to talk for, team?
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Be nice to see some of these new members. Tell us about themselves or
That's
ask
it.
some questions.
This is your channel. Yeah. Yes. It's so hard to explain to people. Hey, Ken Jenny, the Gurkhas have a track record of being amazing soldiers, insanely brave and courageous. Yep.
Yep, they sure do.
They do. And you know who else does? Australian soldiers. Yep, as we know. Australian soldiers, it is so easy for people now to take for granted the fighting history and tradition of the Australian soldier. But I'll tell you what, if anyone could swing a bloody bayonet, the Australians were the ones that could do it. We did it against the Yellow Men. We did it against the Germans. Started the bloody trench raid, which was a bad mistake because then the Germans did it back. You've got to be careful what you start, team. Where's Achilles? He's around the corner about 800 metres away there, Jacko. Last night I wore him like a mustache, the beautiful little pup. He doesn't stink. He doesn't drop a turd. And now he's already toilet trained. And in 2 days, he gets a needle so that no more parvo. And then it's Kaz doing 200 push-ups a day with dips because it becomes beach time, baby.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, look at that average-looking guy with that beautiful pup.
Oh, come on. You're too hard on yourself. Okay, Koala has a question. It is a repeat question, but I believe it's his first time here. So, being a cadet, is it getting in the army easier or they don't really care? Because I hear two different things.
Look, at the moment, because of COVID, it is so hard for them to actually, because a lot of it is done online, it's impossible to actually see if someone's a good candidate online. You need them to come in, see their swagger, see the girth of their shoulders, make sure their shoulders are wider than their goddamn hips. Yep. Because you can see what people are going to be in another 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Cadets is a great thing to do to keep you out of trouble, keep you focused on what you want, for sure. But I don't think it really makes a big difference as far as like the full-time ADF goes.
Well, this is one of the most confusing things. Did you know nearly no cadets actually even ever go for the regular army?
Yeah, or make it.
Almost none of them ever apply.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing. And some stay there way too long.
Yeah, exactly.
To the point it becomes weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here we go. Michelle is 18 and going to Kapooka in February. Very exciting.
It is exciting. What's going to be your last meal?
Yeah. Jai has said if I was to run every day with a weighted bag on, no, you always say don't run with weights. Yeah.
Don't do it, mate. You're going to see it in things like CrossFit, the Reebok challenges and all that sort of crap. This could be a 40-year career for you, mate. What I want you to do is just be active. Change it up. Do boxing on the bag. You don't have to fight. Do push-ups. Do swimming. Do how many burpees you can do in 1 minute 3 times. And that's all you do for the day. Go to the beach and just stay out longer when it gets cold. Go and play some volleyball in between. Later do some push-ups before you go out and have a milkshake. It doesn't have to always be 100%, guys. Your body only has a certain amount of push-ups. You know what? I can't stand watching anything to do with Goggins. Because what he's selling there is a bullshit theory. If you do that, your body's going to be a mess. It is. He's a freak of nature and it works for him. But you don't want your life to become 2 jobs, fitness and military, which is the reason why we say get fit, because your body remembers, get into the military, and then maintain, spike in certain areas when you need it. But you don't want it to become 2 jobs where you're there for 8 hours, and then all of a sudden, then you start your fitness regime on top of that. The Army allows you to do physical training once or twice a day so that it never has to be before work and it never has to be after work. That's for eating Mexican food, chasing someone else's wife and learning how to dance while learning about the share market because the housing market seems to have dropped its ass.
Yep. Caleb is a paramedic student in Western Sydney. Nice to get to know you, Caleb.
Caleb, you've got to know, Caleb, I always say that paramedics are the angels on our streets. No one will ever remember your face that you go and save, but they will remember your voice. What you do, what you turn up to, mate, absolutely the most pride-driven industry I could imagine. I do not know how you do it. I could not do it. But
yeah, no, bless
mucho
you.
respect.
Yeah, exactly. We need folks like that. For everybody in the chat, the young people who are wanting to do SF, I would suggest that you look at, Kaz did a video a few videos back about running before you walk, and I would recommend you go check that out.
You want girls like that? You want paramedics like that? Even to look after your heartburn after you eat a pizza eating competition?
You need a paramedic after her.
Yeah, they're not who you would. And you know what? She would break up with me because she'd go, stop staring at me. I'd just sit there like, you're a diamond. A diamond. Look at this for a second, guys. You know, I'm going to go through this really quick. I've already spoken about it. There's two ways you can get into Special Forces. What I'm talking about here is commandos. One, Special Forces direct entry recruiting scheme, okay, which will have additional psychiatric training. It will have additional scores that are needed within the aptitude test, you know, in service transfer. When you go, you're going to have to do your Kapooka as per normal unless you're already in. Then you go down to the green bar, which everyone does, moving into the purple bar, which is the 12 weeks of infantry training at the School of Infantry. As soon as you fail anything, all bets are off. Then you continue on 6 weeks forces for accelerated infantry training program. And that's also when you commence I can't say if it's 5 or 15, I guess it's 5-week commando physical training package. After that, the culmination of that, you'll get told in a 7-hour accumulative test that will tear your heart out of your anus. Pass or fail. And then you will continue to move on to the next course, which is a 6-week commando selection and training center. Again, you can get told because you're a fuckwit or you don't have what they're looking for, go home. You know, and then once that's all over, what do you have left to do? Another 11 months of training, whether that be in close quarter fighting, whether that be parachuting, whether that be high wire, whether that be in watermanship, etc. It's not easy, team. Wait 2 seconds, Lauren.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
How you going, little darling?
Good.
Can you say hello to everyone?
Hi.
You sound tired, darling. You got 2 days left. 2 days of school left. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. Can you say hello to Jacko?
Hi.
Hi, who? Hi, Jacko.
Hi, Sonny Jim.
Sonny Jim. Hey, darling, don't let Mummy hear. Can I take you to McDonald's tomorrow morning after we see the puppy?
Okay.
All right, good. I love you very much. Go to bed, get your beauty sleep. You don't need it.
Okay, by the way, Indiana Jones is on what channel?
I don't know, but I taught him everything he
9.
knows how to do.
Indiana Jones is on 9. Temple of Doom.
Is he fit enough? I taught him how to use a whip.
Go, watch it.
Okay, I will. Thank you. I love you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Hello. So, team, I can't say sorry because you need to know that the only reason why you never see my beautiful little girl to show beautiful women what I give beautiful women, the ability to have such a beautiful child, is because you can't have a military channel. It attracts some fuckwits, you know.
Look, anywhere on the internet, it's best to, try and keep your kids off it if you can.
Do you know what my favourite song is?
What's that?
Are you watching the screen?
Yeah.
Ebony and Ivory
Live together in
perfect harmony. Dead elephant on the savannah. No.
I thought you were going to go side by side on my piano
Keyboard. Oh Lord. Ivan's here. Ivan. I don't have any vodka here, mate, but I do have a Corona, not the Corona. Yeah. We were talking about fitness tonight, mate, and how we have all these tests. Koala, it's Aaliyah, mate. Ali. Not Ali G. We have all these tests to see how fit you are, but none of them. Oh, I'm going to have to give you an anecdotal. Hey, Sinew Swaddle. Okay, g'day mate, how you going? Great to have you here as a subscriber. Make sure you subscribe now if you haven't already, team. Press the like, press the bell, be here. And at the moment, can we please hear a comment from you? Can we get some thumbs up to also give to our newest subscribers tonight and make them feel welcome? I watch a lot of streams, team. I watch a lot of streams. I watch a lot of YouTubers. And I tell you one thing. This is the only channel that I believe that unfakely, if that's a word, actually takes the time to look at your name, to call it out, to care and to ask how you're going. And that's the reason why we come here. You're not going to like everything I say. I guarantee, and I cannot and will not change. Just like you won't say everything I'm going to like. But if I can keep someone the quality of Rob Kent, Dave D, Caleb and Carl P turning back up here, not to mention Jay, not cerebral palsy, okay, West Side Hayes here, and his friend, what's his name?
Who?
Kane Higgins.
Jay?
Kane Higgins, then, you know, this is a good place for you to be. A mechanic. Thumbs up there. See you guys, you're welcome. Or former service. God praise Lauren, every single Israeli citizen has served in the army.
Guy trying to tell us that the Israeli army, he's quoting statistics that he won't give us the source from.
Be careful about talking about me with the Israeli army, because remember,
exactly.
I've worked with the Israeli army.
Dottie and I both think that the statistics he's talking about don't exist, because that's just not true. PTSD doesn't work in the way that Guy is suggesting. Guy's suggesting that if we had national service, we'd have less PTSD, and that's just not how it works.
Let me explain something about PTSD as well to you. A lot of PTSD you don't necessarily see in conventional fighting of conventional fighters against conventional fighters. Normally, and you can ask ambulance drivers and police this, you can watch a hell of a lot of bad things and you can see them and they don't break your armour. But the one that comes through, the ball that gets through between your legs and your back and hits your stumps, is normally a situation you didn't expect, something you were not ready for, and you didn't act in a way that you thought you would, and your moral compass or system was broken because of something you did or didn't do, and it's normally attached to survivor's guilt.
Yeah, and it can happen from anything, car accidents,
absolutely,
sexual, anything like that. There is no, in fact, we would probably have more PTSD if we had national service, people who didn't want to be in the service being forced into it. I think it's great that we've been volunteers.
And there's a massive difference between national service and serving militarily. And a lot of people that serve in that national service, although they carry a weapon, they're not actually really functional soldiers at all. They're not actually in the standing Israeli army. And they can also, instead of doing that, go and become a tourism person as well and work in culture centres. There's so many different facets of the national service system in Israel. I loved them. I thought they were lovely people. They were very resolute. I agree.
Yeah, but we're resolute too, so I don't think it's because we're weak or because...
Absolutely not.
That's not how PTSD works, and it certainly, I don't think, is linked to their...
The phone just died. No battery. That's a sign. I'll put it in here, see if it can go. 2 seconds, Steve. I'm just going to grab the other phone. Hey, Josh. Josh just pledged on Patreon as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Josh. For those that don't know, the Patreon, what we do with that, and we'll discuss this quickly because a lot of people don't understand this one properly. Where are we? This is how many calls we go through, team. So, can I mail you facts I just Googled?
Hey?
Guy, I don't know about the facts. I've actually worked with these people, mate.
Yeah, he should post the link in the chat. I don't let him email me. I don't give out my email to everyone. Just post it in the chat because Stoddy's interested. I'm interested.
I'd be interested.
A lot of the other veterans who are in here who have PTSD would be interested. But I'm not interested in all the other stuff. Just where's the stuff for the PTSD rate? That's all I'm interested in. And if you didn't know the stats before, yeah.
And a lot of the time, it's the situation you're attached to as well, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You just post the link because I just don't believe those statistics you're throwing around.
Mr. A, that's a true statement. There's a lot of people I would not want to see in uniform, let alone serve with. And
exactly.
Hey, Lie 7, how you going, mate? Hello, Kaz. I'm late. I'm administrating my life. So serious. Sorry, people are fun to deal with. But you know what? This is where you get to come and have robust conversations, and it's great to have you here.
Yeah, it is, sure.
I just wanted to quickly explain, Jordo, they do, because they've earned. Israelis have a national pride that we're not allowed to have here. That's true because they're always defending themselves, and that means they've earned their freedom. So many people in Australia feel like no matter what happens, even between USA and the big red chip, that it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect them, and you go, bullshit, it absolutely affects you.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe with Guy's statement where he said whatever Israel's army is better equipped to handle it. I don't necessarily believe that. Apart from that, you don't even know if they're keeping statistics on it. We might actually have a better realistic view of how many of our people have PTSD. So we may actually have, I just need to see the statistics. There's got to have been a study that you're quoting from because you can't just read one article online and think, oh, yeah, that's the answer. Just, these things are really studied well. I mean, the Walter Reed Institute studies these things. And we, along with America, have probably the best PTSD tracking and treatment in the whole world.
Wait a sec. I'm just saying Israel has gone through triple the conflicts Australia has. That's not true. No. And has triple our population. Okay, Guy, I'm gonna educate you on something, mate, that you may not realise. Do you know that Israel actually got their homeland from Australia? Do you know that? Do you know it was Australia under Chauvel that went in there and broke the back of the Ottoman Empire and actually gave them their country? Israel didn't do it. They didn't fight it. They didn't win it. They didn't keep it. They have it because America has their back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Daz.
Yeah.
Make no doubt, when people think that Australia is not a proud nation, just remember one thing. We could mobilise 1 million soldiers really quickly. Really, really quickly. If you don't believe me, we had less than 4 million people, at World War One, and we got over 400,000 soldiers. Well over. Absolutely we could do it again. The quickest way to make an Australian angry, and if you're old enough to remember, would be when the riots happened at Cronulla. That was because people were turning on people for being Australian. And then the country said, okay, let's not, for Australia Day, have any Australia flags, no Australia boardies, no Australian towels. Businesses made buku dollars by going, you do not tell Australians what they can't do. And they came out in droves. And it was a beautiful, proud moment. Australians are insanely, proud people, but we don't necessarily have to actually say it out loud. Guy, I don't know. Have you actually been to Israel? That's another question too. If you have, I understand you're partisan. That's awesome. Yeah, and I loved Israel too. I opened the Park of the Australian Soldier in Israel.
We all do, but when it comes to statistics and about PTSD, a lot of us here have PTSD, and we actually aren't just dumb about it. We've researched it, we manage it, we live with it, and we get a lot of ignorant comments in here about what could cause it, what could cure it, what we're doing wrong. So unless you have, like Stoddy is quoting academic resources, and unless you've got academic resources to back up your big claims, don't bother.
Okay, Guy, you're going to be embarrassed now. I'm sorry. When was Australia's last conflict that involved rockets flooding into it? How about Afghanistan, mate?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
Afghanistan.
Simple. Yeah. If you've got the academic things to back up what you're saying, post it. If not, move along with the conversation, or you're going to get timed out. Look at Lachlan here. I absolutely love Lachlan's little avatar.
You know something, I've also never heard someone from Israel actually mock Australia, understanding that they actually got their homeland from Australia either. There was so many Israelis there when we opened the Park of the Australian Soldier at Beersheba.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I was part of the Camp David Accords, the head of security in the Sinai Peninsula.
Exactly.
I don't know how old you are, mate. I don't know if you're speaking outside the flags. You're yelling in comments, I'm Israeli. That's fine. That doesn't mean shit either.
Doesn't mean you're better than us or more educated than what Stoddy's saying, which are academic resources. But here's the thing.
Yep.
The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Joseph, he said, I will bless those who bless my people. We liberated the well at Beersheba.
You know what? We don't get on here and bag any country, especially the one that liberated us. So
Exactly.
Take it easy, Guy.
Just take your time out and you can have a breather and come back with the statistics, because he's getting few people's back up in here.
I haven't worked, I haven't worked with Iraqis before, but I've heard that they're lovely, lovely people. And some of the saddest things when Australians were in Iraq, the soldiers that I worked with, John Hando went through a terrible situation where they thought there was AWOLs happening with the Iraqi soldiers and thinking, where are these guys? What are they doing? Are they selling their uniforms? Are they selling their weapons? And I'm not going to go into too much details here, team, but they were on the dump.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically what happened was they were serving proudly. You know, the only thing that they had for themselves was either cigarettes or hay seeds, I think it was, that they used to, seeds they used to eat, you know, as like a delicacy sort of thing. And, they started finding their bodies at the dump. When they'd get their local leave, they'd get picked off by people within the city and then taken and dispatched. It was really, really sad. Really sad.
Yeah, exactly. And look, just because you're from a nation does not make you an expert on all matters about our nation or your own.
Tasmanian Devils just asked, what's my favourite animal? It has to be a lion. It is a lion, but I'm also really, really impressed by the ant and the prawn and the oyster.
The oyster, you've been very impressed with the oyster ever since you learnt how long it's pregnant for.
I don't get horny, I just choke.
Oh, gosh. You know what my favourite animal is? I love sloths.
The sloth.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Whenever I've been a sloth, girls have dumped me.
What?
Girls have dumped me every time I've been a sloth. Hey, can I say something quickly? Hey,
Yeah.
Guy, if you're still listening, no hard feelings, mate. Relax, mate. It's okay. You're here at the right place, and it's great to have someone from Israel, but don't come here with an axe to grind, mate. Come here and educate us, and we can learn some fantastic information, you know?
Sure. And it's okay to be wrong. If someone like Stoddy, who is actually and this is his arena, he deals with PTSD. He's at uni studying how to help people with PTSD. He has his own post-trauma growth, and he really is an inspiration when it comes to learning how to manage PTSD, what causes it. He's an expert in the field. So when he tells you you're wrong, you need to recheck your facts. Just go, oh, wow, yeah, I didn't realise that. You've got to know when to sit down and shut up if someone knows something more than you about it. It's wisdom.
So if you ever hear me talking about sex, never second guess me. I'm talking shit. Okay, we've got Kanjini here. Kaz, did you see they are phasing out the bayonet fight in the USMC, US Army, and opinions? Okay. I believe it should never be phased out, but they don't carry a bayonet anymore. And some of that is because of the weapon, and it's also because of technologies, etc. But the bayonet is less, and I used to have a video in 1.0, as someone stated before, with this channel, which was the bayonet is redundant. And I had some real big arguments with people because I didn't understand from a commander's perspective that the bayonet is a symbol of the FUP, the forming up point, when infantry are put in a position where they're going to be the assaulting force, where the platoon commander, regardless of age, he stands up, soldiers take a knee when we're ready to, where we're going to be in the forward line of troops. And we still, even now, and you need your fitness to get to the FUP because it might take you out. You might have to move like a Zyrtec to get there. So yeah. I'm answering your question. So what happens is, when you get there, you take a knee because it becomes a performance. The platoon commander will let you know 2 minutes out. It's not getting called off at 2 minutes out. 1 minute. Pulls his bayonet out, puts that on his rifle. That bayonet gun on his rifle is a message to every motherfucker in the jungle that we are going to go and take the real estate face to face from the enemy threat. We're not backing out. We're not stopping. There's no more standing back and forth, having a forcey back and forth. We're going in for the kill. And we're going to take his land, and we're going to take it by freaking force. And you are going to go in there, and you're going to use that bayonet, and you're going to end their lives. And you're going to do it in the most brutal way you can, and you're not going to stop until there's no one left. That's what the bayonet is about. It's a message to let the soldiers know psychologically, and anyone that's had any type of training, when you see a British soldier, a New Zealand soldier, an American soldier, an Australian soldier with a bayonet on, you know that they're coming to take your land and they are not turning back. So exactly. I believe the officers, because officers don't teach this, because they don't know it, because they don't understand it, because they don't share the motherfucking front line. They are back behind us. They are the quarterback punk. But if you were the sergeant, that is the time when you would normally step up and you would join potentially the front line, and you will keep them going. And you will get into the thick, just like they did at the Battle of Kapooka, at Samashon, and you will get involved. You know, that is a psychological symbol to the enemy as much as it is to the soldiers that know exactly what it means, fixed bayonets. By getting rid of that controlled aggression, that message that tells you there is no out, we are coming, and you're about to see the face of victory as you show me the face of defeat, because you cannot lose anymore. It is the dice rolled, the crossing of the Rubicon. It is the final turn, the card, the river of the poker game. Yep. Sorry, I get excited about the bayonet. If they don't carry it anymore, I understand it. You know, because we have so much shit that we carry. Okay, but at least have it for the training perspective, even from, we still have drill. Okay, at least have it from a training perspective to give those people the understanding of what people have done before them, whether it be at World War I, II, whether it be from Gettysburg, whether it be at with Napoleon versus Wellington, you know, at Waterloo. It's the clash of arms. It is the stripping of technology and going back to the basics. It is when your fitness and your controlled aggression, it is when soldiers and warriors meet, and hopefully the soldiers' training allows them to prevail. Sorry.
Zaki, no, that was really good. You even gave someone goosebumps, they said, with that speech. Okay, Zaki from the US has said the first company of Space Force airmen just graduated from basic training, by the way.
Would they be the most interesting people to speak to? You'd go, what's it about? It won't be long before someone tries to tell them they know what they're doing too. You know, that's amazing. And Zaki, you know that's all about, we've already got congested airspace, and there's a fight for air superiority. So what this is about is putting people above the air superiority, have space superiority on the air superiority, which means that you can't lose because you can't fight upwards. So important. So important. And it is a shot over the bow. If you win that race, you almost can't lose.
Yep, we've had this question before. PK Tyler has asked, can you join the ADF with an old non-violent conviction?
Yeah, you can.
You can, but very competitive at the moment too, so it may go against you, but we can't say they won't take it into consideration. They probably will, and they'll probably have some questions for you about it, but it doesn't mean you won't get in.
Yeah. And it's case by case, honestly, team, case by case. Guy, I'm sorry your dad was diagnosed with PTSD, mate. I also have got PTSD, and all I could say is someone has PTSD.
Yep.
The one thing I can say, and I'm sure that people will agree with me, and Michael Stott and Lauren, and all of those, no matter who has had it touch their life, do not let it define you. Choose who you tell that you have PTSD. Protect yourself. Don't let it define you that I am this person and I have PTSD.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a gift that you give people to let them know that, hey, I've been broken and I'm working on this, and sometimes I can be a dick, and I understand that.
Yeah, because look, PTSD doesn't not have symptoms, and those symptoms really vary a lot for a lot of people depending on a lot of different variables. So, one person's PTSD might be totally different to someone else's PTSD. And Guy, I would suggest you actually go to the website of the Walter Reed Institute if you're after some more information. They actually have the best information. Stoddy could probably point you in a better direction too, but as far as in my research, they have the best information on many subcategories of PTSD, the best practice for treatment, but your dad needs to go to an actual doctor, because PTSD can have lots of different symptomatic behaviours, and a lot of them are very negative.
Yeah, and I believe that, honestly, and James Wood, I'm about to answer your question. I believe being a recipient of post-traumatic stress disorder because it ended up taking my job, and I lost my partner and my child in some ways over this. I don't believe there's a cure, like people try to tell you there's a cure. What it is coming to grips and living and understanding you can't go fucking backwards.
Exactly. It's about managing. Yeah, you'll never be the person you were before. But it's about, like Stoddy talks about this all the time, just becoming the best version of you and growing from it, which you can do. And you can sometimes use it to your advantage, but I've lost a lot of things from having PTSD too. And like Jay said, it doesn't discriminate. There is just as many people in the civilian population who have PTSD as there are veterans. For sure. And I just always think of the little kids who get PTSD. It must be terrible for them because they're still trying to figure out how the world works. So we should all probably, pull our socks up and think about them a little bit.
James Wood says, did I see Lucky's dono before? I didn't, mate. I don't think I did.
No, I didn't. I scrolled back and I don't know how far away it was. Oh, Lachlan, we didn't read his question though, because I said to you I love his little avatar. He's got one from the War Memorial.
Ah, Lucky, I'm going to throw some cracking to you, and this is my hug to you, mate.
It's a seasick cow.
I'm going to make something new for you.
It's a kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law.
Yeah, for sure.
That should make him happy.
That's some dog food.
Welcome, calamari.
Right in my puppy's gob. Thank you very much, mate. Lightfoot, I believe to love your enemies is to do everything possible to resolve the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
The sad thing about Lighty is the people that are enemies are getting pushed there by political means. That's why the big fear is what's happening in the US at the moment, that if the commander-in-chief that is not getting support by his own country, his own DOJ, his own, the Democratic Party, the courts, the Supreme Court of his country. Put this in perspective. We've got someone with 7 children, Amy Barrett, Coney Barrett, who just got a job for life in the highest paid court in the world, and the first fucking decision she had to make, she sat out and did not support not just the guy that gave her the job, but she didn't support justice. Sack her on the spot because she has. Sorry, wait a sec. She and Kavanaugh and what's his name? The three people that just got their job from Donald Trump. They don't need to necessarily side with him, but to not even get involved and go, oh, this is not even about what's right or wrong. We don't want to cause destruction and mayhem within our country if we overthrow an election. You go, okay, I'm going to put this one to you hypothetically. Let's just say that Delegate, good to have you here, mate. Great to have you here. And Peter Cram, always good to have you here with Fugly, are the security detail for Amy Coney Barrett, who have just got the job to protect her and her family. She has said, I will not pass this because of what could come back on me. Well, guess what? What about her security detail? What can come onto them? They can't say no. What about police? What about paramedics on Skid Row that get attacked by the people they're trying to save? What about soldiers? What about teachers that try to save children when there's gang violence happening inside a school? They don't turn the back. Once you turn your back, you've shown your true colours shining through. And if you're in the Supreme Court, lose your job, fuck off.
Yeah.
A couple of decisions in their entire life, and they chose to run. It doesn't, and I don't believe that Donald Trump wanted them to necessarily say, I will automatically vote for you, but they wouldn't even hear or see the case. That should have been, if all of them had said that, I would have gone, there's something wrong here. Okay, I get it. But the fact that they didn't and some did, you don't get paid that much money or have that position, that privilege to choose to sit on a fence. No fence sitting. And I believe that if it had been in the name of justice and they said, this is why, I believe that Donald Trump would have gone, okay, I got that. At least you made a decision. Now he probably respects the Democrats more than he respects them.
Okay, we're getting behind in chat.
Go.
Sorry. Okay. Lachlan's question from way back is, I'm looking to schedule an interview and start my ADF journey in January, but I have mild asthma. Would that heavily affect joining the infantry?
It can be an absolute game changer. It depends if it's childhood asthma or not. Jordo, we're going to be with you in 2 seconds, mate. It's a handsome man if that's you in the thumbnail. Okay, if you have asthma, you've got to remember what you're getting involved in. If you go to Tully, which is surrounded by pollens and different flowers and fungus and shit, you might have to run 300 metres with a 50-kilo pack just to get to the forward line of troops before you fight through humidity in an attack where no one can even see you from 5 metres away. And if your asthma kicks in, you could die. So be careful what you ask for. And remember, the infantry is the big leagues, mate. If you go in there with a pre-existing condition, but if you don't, what they'll do is they'll have a lung function test at the assessment phase, and if you can pass that, you should be fine. Okay, so do not say no. Do not think it's over. It's over when it's over. I did see a fat lady singing on the corner, but it wasn't about that. So go through with it, mate, and I've got hopes for you.
Okay.
Don't give up. Jordan,
before you get there, Peter Cram asked, he said he had a very, very serious question and he wanted to ask, how was your weekend?
My weekend?
Yeah.
What happened?
It was great. You had a great weekend. You sent me photos.
I did have a great weekend with my daughter going to the to her concert, but I also had my my headaches back and looking after the puppy as well. It was a great weekend. It was full of emotional moments watching my daughter as she wore more makeup than what a man would want his daughter to wear, but she really done a stellar job, mate. The dog, getting ready for Christmas, happy times, mate. Happy times. And we made some other people very happy too by giving them presents, etc. Thank you very much, Patreon. You'll hear more about that. Jordo, the Asian cow. We're going to give you the tentacles in a minute, mate. But it's $19.99, baby. Hey, Kaz, stream request. Why do you want to fight for your country? For me, I want to fight for tolerance and diversity. The people that want to fight for it, they don't actually want to fight for it. They want to talk about it. They still want to vote, but they don't want to have a job. You know, mate, what do you want to fight for your country? It's a weird one when you join the army. People think we want to fight. You don't actually want to fight. You want to be around people that are more like yourself. You want to be around the great adventure. You want to be getting helicopters for free, paid. You want to go out and test yourself. Jordo, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I was going to make a video about this. I believe the best chance of getting success in... Oh, shit, look how many questions there is.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I believe that the best way to become the best version of you is through suffering, through discomfort, through hard work, through toil, through going without, through honesty, through the brutality of just living. If you go and join the army, not for a year, but for 4 years, and you go and you do infantry or cav, something so set apart from being, and it could be any corps, so set apart from being civilian, when you come back from that and open an entrepreneurial business, whether it be coffee shops, whether it be a pizza joint, whether it be as an electrician, you know what it's like to be cold. You know what it's like to go without. You know what it's like to be let down. You know what it's like to get bad news. You know what it's like to fail. All of these things will test you in a way there's almost no equivalent of in civilian society. So to be a businessman, what better way can you start than literally in the trenches? In the trenches. Nothing bad comes from it, but the smacking of the steel, the folding of the sword, the evolution of the soul to make you a better version than you. And when someone asks you one day, what did you do before this?
You better get it.
I can't. I don't know the number.
Oh, don't get it.
When someone asks you, where's your background from? And you say it's military, that's pretty goddamn cool. Drunk Aussie, I'll be with you in a sec, mate. I'm off, Kaz. Time for my little to go to bed. His little one to go to bed. Keep up the good streams and see you in the next one. Drunk Aussie, stay drunk. This one's for you, you pirate. Thank you very much, mate. That's a slap on the ass from Kaz.
Here's a question that brought to
It's a
my
crack
attention,
him.
Dom's been very
Feed
patient.
him a mother-in-law.
He's been asking since
That
the
should
beginning
make
of
him
it.
happy.
I'm sorry, Dom. The chat has
Welcome,
just
calamari.
been rolling fast tonight.
You mean I've been talking shit?
No, it's not you. It's mostly
Thanks,
the chat.
Drunk Aussie.
Chat's been talking shit tonight. If I join infantry, will I only work with males and have no female contact in the army?
No, there is. You won't really have any contact with females in the army. You know, there is so few females. I think there's less than 20 in the entire infantry corps, because what they don't tell you is almost every single one of them fails. They might make it through Kapooka. They get to Singo. The majority of them fail. And then the ones that get to the battalion, the majority of them are either injured or trying to get the hell out of there. You know, I believe that females are lied to about infantry. And I've spoken to ladies about that. And as you got to remember, I've had years and years and years of training soldiers. And even if we weren't talking about females, I see what it does to males. You know, and when I saw some of the ladies, and I won't tell you where, and I saw their shape, they'd been sold out by recruiting. They were just trying to get females to join, and they weren't the droid you were looking for. And from a father that loves his daughter's point of view, I would have been very angry. Yep. There is no point to prove. This is potentially a career, and if you fail it, it can actually affect the rest of your life. Because the first thing that you lean into, if you fail it, what are you going to think the next time you get bad news? It's terrible. And I want you all to be successful. I want you to be successful. That's why I do this channel.
Yeah,
so you have a voice that goes, hey, dude, let me just tell you, that's fake news, bro. You know?
Yeah. Private Man asked, will I increase my career chances by identifying as a woman? Sadly, yes. Yes, you will.
You would.
You could be like Klinger.
Yep.
It's sad, but true. That's the world we live in.
Caleb, Townsville. Good question, Brady. What did Brady say? Hey, Kaz, can you wear tradie undies in the army? I've never met a man that wears undies.
Except for snipers.
No, yeah, the sniper undies. That's LORE. That's law, mate.
Yeah.
You wear boxer shorts at best. You got to wear something. You got to wear something because I tell you, the crackers, as you get older, they hang low. Sweet chariot, and the mozzies will treat your balls and your ball skin like a Korean barbecue. They love it. You'll do that. I've seen soldiers, that have got their Santa's sack a mess because the sergeant's job is also to make you drop your pants and look at your balls and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what happens with women in infantry now because the sergeant's job is to come and check out your junk, your feet, etc., to make sure that you're all good to go, FFI, free from infection. And when you're in Timor, the jungle and shit like that, I tell you, people can have their junk nearly fallen off and not say shit. I knew a bloke. I'm going to tell you a story. It's late at night. This one's for Carl P. and Fugly. And the lurker, who lurks really, really badly.
All very, very well. Give them plain sight.
I knew a fella, and this is sort of close to me as well, because he worked with me, and he ended up getting genital warts from a woman, okay? Let's just say he was promiscuous. He was a tomcat. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. Dangerous these days, especially.
Be safe, young people.
Yeah,
but after your sexual health.
Yeah, but he had the warts, and anyway, he didn't want to go and see a doctor. He thought he was the first person to ever have them, so he thought he'd do some self-operation, pimple popper, so to speak, and he got some wart kill, and he thought that he'd just dab it on, and he poured it on himself. Anyway, his peni turned into Swamp Thing.
Oh, gosh.
And he didn't let anyone know about it. And we were in Tully, where even the splinter of a thorn of a bush that has lived and wait a while in there can turn into like an abscess. And here's this guy that goes in there with a compromised Chico roll. And,
good
Jesus,
grief.
by the time he said, hey, someone needs to look at this, unpick it and shine a torch on it, it was like, Jesus Christ, the Swamp Thing's finger. He looked like Deadpool.
That's not okay.
He got whisked out of there, not like an egg. And they said, basically, mate, you nearly lost the best part of you, your Christmas cracker. If you hadn't have come forward when you did. And they go, even then, now all we can do is say it's unique. Will it come back to normal? We don't know.
Oh my gosh, these guys are cracking me up. Some of the things they say are hilarious.
No, it wasn't me, James. It wasn't me.
Just a friend of a friend, right?
Let's just say, mate, I have never caught anything off a man. Dirty women.
Hey.
Do you get that?
Yeah, I get it. Caleb's right. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tools.
Yeah. It's true, but you know what? I'd rather nothing. If I'm going to wear a condom, then I might as well just go, look, let's just skip the sex bit and just enjoy some good food. Because I can't be bothered having shit sex.
No, that's right. Nor can I. I've got better things to do.
Jordo, look at him having a laugh down there. Vomit.
Yeah, because let's be honest, but mind you, actually, I'm a little bit desensitized to that. Because, I used to split penises for a living, so I am a little bit decent. And also, being a military wife, often your dude's friends will come to you if they have a problem in their intimate areas, and they'll say, can you look at this? Is this normal? So
I could imagine going up to a girl in a nightclub and go, is it meant to be swollen like this?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I think I was bitten by something.
Do not use that as a pickup.
Caleb. Jesus, 2 beers and look what happens. And look at that. Stoddy must be drinking too. He's just said crass. And okay, not Cass. Fun fact, condoms were made by the devil. Yeah, I'd probably agree, mate. They've been ruining sex since their inception. Family friend was in the SAS and he's got hemorrhoids. I've had those. You know, that is one of the funniest things you'd wish on your mates and your enemies. Bigger than my head, mate. One thing I'm not looking forward to, don't want to get me nuts and hemorrhoids mixed up. Oh, imagine that. We're going to lance that one.
Good grief. I
You
don't know
know-
if they don't lance hemorrhoids. Don't they just
Oh,
try to
no, they can.
up there?
They can slice those bastards.
But isn't it a vein or
Yep,
like
it's an artery that's basically popped out of its, gone outside its reservation.
I thought they just poke it back up there or get those creams. That
Nah,
do that.
not that easy, Lauren. Not that easy.
Yeah, I don't know much about hemorrhoids. I only know about penis.
I seem to know a little bit more about it than I want to actually let people know. But let's just say, if you've never had a hemorrhoid, then don't tell people what it's like to have a sense of humour. Because when you've got a hemorrhoid, you'd better have a sense of humour or you won't get through it. Okay, I'm going to tell you something quickly. I got one from ration packs
What? How do you get a hemorrhoid from a ration pack?
because it chunks you
Oh,
up. You know, when you've been taking them for too long, you can't
Yeah.
shit. You're going, I better get one out. It's been too long. I'm going to end
Yeah.
up in hospital. You know, and anyway, I get up one day. Jay, we're speaking adults here. I hope you're going to laugh. Press the like button for this story, team. And I remember going, what the hell is that? You know, and my mind went to X-rated and I thought, what the hell is that? That doesn't feel right. You don't go to your mates, hey mate, did you see anyone bubble wrapping his sphincter when I was asleep? So one of the guys comes over and goes, what's going on, Kaz? I go, mate, I've got something popping out the jacksie. And he goes, that's a hemorrhoid. And I went, oh, right. And I went to the doctor and he goes, mate, what I want you to do is bend over and think of England. So I did that. And,
God.
and all of a sudden, what the hell are you doing? You never told me you were going to touch me. And he's going, mate, you just need to put this stuff on. And anyway, this is just man stuff. It happens to him.
It is.
And
And look, you can't be shy about these things. Otherwise, they could turn into a big problem.
That's right. It's in Kaz's trench. And there might be someone right now with some Christmas bubble wrap, you know, from Australia Post, sitting there and I go, what are you going to do? Anyway, on the back of your mirrors in the live-in lines at the School of Infantry, it's a mirror the size of your back of your door. So I'm going, we've got to go back out bush now. And I've got what feels like a kid's birthday party hanging out my butt.
Oh
And
my word.
I've gone, well, I've got to put this. Hey, Jacko, see you, mate. I've got to go and put this ointment on. And one of the guys goes, Kaz, all the problem goes away if you just push it back in. And I went, hey, mate, thanks for that. Don't tell anyone, eh? And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, looking in there like you can do it, son.
I don't think I've ever looked at myself from that angle.
Neither had I. And I pushed and I shoved. And the agony that I went through is the most pain I've ever been in before. It felt like getting kicked in the wisdom teeth after they'd been taken out. And do you know what happened as soon as it went back in?
What?
It popped back out.
Oh, no.
And he goes, it doesn't work, does it? And I went, you fucking prick. It didn't work. And he just laughed at me for the rest of the time going, yeah, someone told me that too.
Oh, my word. You know, all the discomfort.
Oh, you know, it's one of those things I felt like that was the day I think I became a man.
Yeah.
When you
see,
can
that-
laugh at yourself, you know,
Yeah,
there you go.
you have to, yeah, but you can't laugh at other people if you can't laugh at yourself.
Leave
And,
Carl
you know,
laughing.
Had you learnt your lesson about the cheese melts by then?
Ah, that was years before that. You know, I think that was, you know, that was the big mistake how I set it in. You know, everyone that's laughing, look at them. You've got not Daz. He's clear on this one. Michael Stott, SRN. We've got Steve Webb. We've got Stotty there. We've got Cody. We've got Carl P. If you're laughing, it's laughing because you know what I'm talking about. Of course yous. You've all got a hemorrhoid right now, I reckon. Hey, Guy, the best place you can put that, mate, is not actually in this comment, my man. Put it in the comments when the video is finished rendering at the end because, mate, all due respect, mate, I will look this up.
Yeah,
I'll look it up. I'll respect your comments for sure.
For sure, but I'm not going to read it because I'm more likely to trust Stoddy's statistics, to be honest with you. But it's like Stoddy said, bum grapes. The struggle is real. I believe that's a common problem for pregnant women too.
Well, they called them the grapes of wrath.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl still got him. He now knows he's not alone.
Yeah, look, I'm about done with you, Jay. Guy, not Jay. I'm about done with you. I don't know why people come in and just want to ruin. Everyone's having fun. Just stop it.
What's Joy saying up there? I'm back for one more question.
He's just being a dick.
Joy or Guy?
Guy.
No, I'm talking about Joy.
Good. Joy?
I'm back for one more question. So Special Forces SASR or 2 Commando Regiment. I just researched 2 Commando and I was wondering how I apply. Is it different to Special Forces SASR? It's very different. It's normally platoon based, raids, mate. And you have to be infantry before you can go there. So you've got a long way to go. There's a lot of, hurdles to get there, so to speak. And what I recommend to you, mate, is be the best trained individual you can be, but train smart. Get the good shoes, pay the money, get some people, some CrossFit training is fantastic. Let them know that you're going to go to army and they will train smart, but they'll also protect you. And in between that, bam, go to the ADF app and that will at least get you through the door with everything you need to do with the Pre-enlistment Fitness Assessment. Okay, when you're not doing that, then you need to look at the BFA tables with that freak there and look at the scores, but don't let that define your fitness. You need to be way past that. I'll give you as an example. When I used to do my BFAs, when I was competitive, it wasn't uncommon for me to do over 100 push-ups in the 2 minutes. And I normally had people similar to Gav Whiteside from the 1st Battalion, the big blue one, to spur me on. There you go. So tell yourself that you're going to do the most push-ups in your platoon, that you're going to do the most sit-ups in your platoon. You won't. You'll only do 100. Yeah, you're going to be the fastest runner, functional fitness, swimmer, boxer, everything. Enjoy life, but don't do anything too extreme because this is not like an athlete, like a rugby league player that plays for a few years and they're done. This might be you for 40 years. And if you don't believe me, look at that. Why would they put down there 46 to 50? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tweet that there's no double standard.
That's right. Private man, $1 million question. How to avoid back, neck injuries from heavy packs. And that's to work the abdominals, mate, is to be fit.
That's a good question.
The best way to do it is be fit. If you are fit, you'll avoid most injuries. We've got Dolph Lundgren, who's got a perfect soldier's body, never comes up short. He's too tall, but he's in WA at the moment, one of the prettiest girls alive. And pray you have the right personality because if you aren't, they won't take you even if you pass it all. And that's an interesting point. When you go for Special Forces, if you have a personality that doesn't match, even if you are good to go, they can still go, you're not what we're looking for. And you want proof of that? JP, who lives with Lauren.
Yep.
2RAR, 2nd Battalion, 2nd to none, Royal Australian Regiment. You can pass all the snipers course and they go, we don't want the guy that came first. We want the guy that came third.
Yep.
Because that's who we're looking for.
Yep, exactly.
Private
Absolutely.
Man. It's a good name. Mate, you're a gentleman and a scholar. I'm not sure who he's talking to. If it's me, I'll absolutely enjoy that.
Yeah, you are. You're very. You think you're not well read, but you are. You're a very worldly gentleman, and you're always gentlemanly.
I read the whole Mr. Man collection.
Look, you can't have conversations about history like you and I do when no one's listening, like you do without some sort of research or knowledge. So stop talking bad about yourself.
I was the infantry historian, but so it's an unfair sort of thing. So if people were smarter at me at stuff, then I'd make sure I knew more about ancient history and middle history, so that when we have a conversation, they couldn't compete with me, and they didn't realise where I got my information from. I've read a lot of toilet doors in universities.
Very funny. Took me a minute to get that.
Hey, Dolph Lundgren, how tall are you? You can tell us who you are now, mate.
Yeah, you can tell us.
Because what's the role of the SASR? Or the role of the SASR? I bet you could find that very quickly. I know what the motto is, and that's who dares wins. You know, what the role of the SAR is. I don't know. Who's the quickest one to find that on Google and type it in right now?
Yeah, somebody Google it and tell us what their actual role is as written down.
What personality traits are a red flag for joining SF, Kaz? That's an excellent question, Alex. I would say it's people that are braggadoso, people that can't keep their mouth shut, people that talk too much, people similar to Kaz, people that 194 centimetres is Dolph Lundgren, and he's a good-looking lad too.
What's that in old school feet and inches?
But it's well over 6.
There you go, 6'4". Someone said.
Caleb, No Duff Industries YouTube has some preventative exercises. There you go.
Yep, go check that out.
What was I going to say? What were we talking about? What was that last one? Traits of SF. Look, it comes down to them
Red
too,
flag.
mate. It comes down to them as people that can't train alone. Integrity.
Exactly. Yeah,
Integrity is a big
you
one.
have to be trusted. You know, you're going to have to be trusted to, you know, be a bit quieter about things.
Self-starting.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
consistency.
Motivated.
You only there's a big saying, Alex, that credibility is won by the teaspoon but lost by the shovelful. So that means to you that you have to work for a hell of a long time. It's like a father for a daughter. We'll spend a lifetime for her to know that her dad's a legend, but he can stuff it in one bad situation.
Yep.
You know, really.
That's true. But so can a mum. Look at Ed Gain. Was that his name?
Ed Gein, yeah.
Yeah, see, look, so can a mum.
Yeah, that's right. James Wood, I love that name because I always think of the actor, and also he's one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters too. Did you ever consider an SF route? I did. Like they said before, with Dan Pronk in 1999, I was going to do my barrier test for SASR. I thought I wanted to join then because at that stage, 2 Commando was not a thing. It was still 4AR, and I'd formerly been part of the 2nd Battalion and 4AR as 2-4 before I went to Rwanda. And basically, everything seemed like it was right. You know, I'd come off a section commander's course. It was a hard, bloody course. You know, and then I came straight from that as dirty as a nightclub ashtray and turned up to do the selection course, the barrier test for selection. And I started to do that, and halfway through that, basically an SAS guy came over and said, hey, look, guys, letting you know, if you're in the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment, 2nd None, you guys are about to go to East Timor for Interfet and go and lock horns with the Indonesians. And if you hurt yourself while you do this, or you pass it well, would you rather come over and have a chance of getting an SASR, or would you rather go back to your battalion and deploy and go on the big test with the battalion? And I went, you know what? That's a really, really good point. And it took me about halfway through the 28-kilometre speed test, speed pack march, which Dan Pronk ran the whole 28 kilometres, by the way, in less than 4 hours. I think he set a record. But basically, I ended up going, no, and I ended up going on Interfet, and Dan Pronk also went on Interfet. And then we came back. I met a hot chick. I stayed with a hot chick in the land of plenty for a long time. Dan Pronk went and he joined SASR. So I never went back because your head has to be in the right spot, not just your body. So that's a long story. Yeah. So I never went back. And you know what? I'm glad I never went there because it's not me. I love the battalion.
Exactly.
I love being an instructor. I love talking to you guys. I don't need to be up there getting tested every day and feel like I'm always ears back, you know, always competing. I'm a laid-back guy, and I love the battalion. Absolutely love it.
Exactly. I think there's a common misconception that people think that your average infantry soldier is really jealous of all the SF soldiers. And that's not true. They're your friends. You used to work with them before they went there. You know, so there's nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they love their background in the battalions as well.
For sure they do.
Zaki Talib, you know, here we go. Fantastic. Can you please read this one out with your lovely voice?
Nice to get some insight from the US.
Yeah.
The SF path is really simple here in the US military. You can do an option 40 contract and have a shot at Ranger Regiment, do a Warrior Challenge contract and have a shot as a Navy SEAL, etc.
There you go. There you go. You can probably see the dedication, the present I got from the Ranger Battalion back behind me. I've got presents everywhere behind me from the Ranger Battalions because I worked with your Rangers, you know, in the Tactics and Leadership Division. They send out one of their platoon sergeant equivalent Rangers out there and they work with us. And part of my job was to be the entertainer of those guys, to billet them, look after them and their family, make sure they have a good time in Australia. Yeah, and we swap notes all the time, sometimes very robust conversations, but
Yeah.
they are real meat-eating, hard sons of bitches, and I love them like brothers, and we are lucky to have them as friends.
Yeah, for sure. Dave D has, I think, found out the role.
Throw it up.
Yeah. I'll try my best. Special Recovery Operations, Advisory and Training Assistance, Covert Reconnaissance, Foreign Internal Defence, Direct Action, Kill or Capture Operations, Counter-Terrorism, Hostage Rescue and Counter...
Insurgency.
Insurgency, right.
But that sounds like a list of things they can do. That's not their role. That's things they can do, because that really sounds disjointed and horrible. There's no real ring to it. It's not like, I don't know if you've heard this one, Zaki. The role of the infantry in Australia is to seek out and close the enemy, to kill or capture him, to seize and hold ground, to repel attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather or terrain. I know you're 11 Bravos over there. I'm not sure what their role is, mate. 11 Bravo, guys, is the designator for infantry. 11 X-ray is what Ed B. Jr. is about to go for in January.
Yeah, I missed the first part of Dave's message. Here, let me try again. Okay, that was just the second half.
Oh, okay.
The SASR is tasked to provide special operations capabilities in support of the Australian Defence Force. This includes conducting sensitive long-range reconnaissance operations and then the rest.
But that really sucks. That sounds like a descriptor of what they can do. There's no punch in there. If it's SASR, they should be able to go...
Maybe they keep it vague so they've got room to move.
Well, that's not vague. That's huge. It should be, we will put on a red headband. We will be in your postcode. We will take your wife before we take your life.
They're about smooth as silk.
We're motherfucking better than you in every single thing, including our prayers. Because how do you respond to that? Oh, I'm about to fight a guy that even prays better than me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys and gals, let's get one last look at the lovely lass. No, not her. Not her.
Look. Did you put the zombie back?
There you go. Look at her, looking after a man.
What a nice couple. Here's SOS again with his $10. Thank you, SOS.
Sorry?
SOS.
Hey, there you go.
He says, hi, Kaz, Lauren and team. I was advised Kapooka on the 5th of February, but not in writing just yet. Looking forward to it, and thanks for all the prep the channel has provided. Thank you for all the support you've given the channel.
SOS, you're a champion, mate. All we need is 3 more likes. We get to 100, and that would be a great way to say thank you to SOS. But while we're doing that, I'll throw some Kraken out there. I hope you're not allergic to the squid, mate, because it's not allergic to you. Imagine this around your larynx. This is a Special Forces critter. There he is, getting ready to get in the taxi. Then all of a sudden... coming out in the piss. No.
Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Guys and girls, I've really enjoyed myself tonight. For those that don't come here very often, I'm sorry if you come here and you go, hey, look, the topic was meant to be about fitness tonight. We do speak about the fitness in the first half an hour, but after that, it comes down to what do you need, and what you need most is an answer to the pressing questions that you deliver. So I hope you appreciate the fact you get that when you come here via Lauren, Kaz, Dave D, or whether it be bloody Carl or SOS, Mr. P, etc. Robbie Kent, congrats. Yep. Can we get some thumbs up for SOS there? I'm not writing just yet. Looking forward to it. And thanks for all the prep and the challenge provided. Mate, it is so good for my position. I get to hear all the good news. I get messages all the time. Yeah, I've made it in. Or my class 4 has got over the appeals and I'm in. We've got what's his name?
Who?
Aaron Mills has been trying for years to get in. The dude's nearly 7 foot. Loves his family, loves his children. An amazing guy. And he looks like he's about to get in. After all this, they said to him, don't reapply. And then all of a sudden he got a message back from the bastards. And they said, oh, would you be interested in doing this? You feel like, don't play with people's souls. I'm going to be real honest with you here, team. Real honest. I cannot stand our recruiting. I'm going to use the F word. I fucking hate it. I see people that get their dreams up, get their dreams torn down.
Yeah, and some people who should just be told, look, you're not going to be able to meet the standard.
I've seen people in there that are bloody zombies. And you go, if you think he's a zombie, let him know.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't keep dragging him along so he can be spending money trying to make the best version of himself.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not fair at all.
Do you know what else we need to do?
What?
We need to stop trying to make the army look like a recruiting ad.
Yeah, we do. That's silly.
It's not to try and look like a Supreme Pizza, to keep the identity politics looking like we're ticking boxes. You stop showing chicks there with their hair up and makeup on and people laughing like it's a bloody Grease version of some sort of soap opera. Put the hard shit up. Show the same people, the same pretty girl in the makeup with the hair up, and they're not supposed to be wearing makeup anyway, but then show her, trashed, out bush. Yeah, exactly. She's lost some weight. Her clothes are ripped a bit. She looks like shit.
Yeah, it's manipulative. And if anyone could say anything about CDF at the moment, it's manipulative. His ways are manipulative.
Maddie.
And, it goes towards recruiting too. It's manipulative.
Yeah. You're a volunteer. You deserve the respect and the honesty to let you know the truth.
Exactly. Because if you're going to volunteer for something, you should at least look it in the
See
eyes
you, Jordo.
And know what you're in for.
See you later, Jordo. Thank you very much for your donation, mate. Thank you very much for your time. Let's summarise tonight. And we saw Matty Borrell there. He's late. It's okay. It's not my baby. Okay, Lurker. And no thumbs down tonight. Just give him time, Lurks. Just give him time, mate. Good night, Kaz, Mods, Lauren, and special mention to Jay, who now has a bird poo on both shoulders.
Jay cops his fair share, West Side does.
He does. Smokey B, the News Army, went through a stage of letting in every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And what happens is some of them end up staying in and getting position of rank, and then what they end up doing is letting down the team. That's always what happens. Guys and gals, in conclusion, the fitness tables are a guide. Get Army fit. And remember, when you get fit, you want to be strong enough that you can carry your injured brother or sister out of a position with their equipment on, in the absence of them being able to get out himself. And you want them to meet you halfway. Hold your friends and your mates accountable and your team buddies for turning up unprepared. Do not stand there on the sideline and clap for someone who's failing their fitness test. Turn your back. Walk off. They have let themselves down as well as yourself. There is no other job in Australia other than fireman that will give you an hour to 2 hours a day to train and pay you to train to be able to pass a basic test. But train smart. And remember, you're in there for the long haul. and your fitness will define your success when you get into the field, and also the way you're judged by your peers, family, friends, and most importantly, your opposition. If you want to survive the game, then you need to be prepared to turn up for the whole game, both halves. With that out the way, thank you, Lauren. Thank you to the moderators.
Thank you, Kaz. Yeah, the moderators were on their toes tonight.
Thank you to the members. Thank you to the donations. Thank you to those that listen to me talking this tripe.
It wasn't tripe, it was very informative.
Well, what about when I was talking about the Anus?
Yeah, I'm trying to forget about that.
Good show to do a review on, Kaz, intake in New Zealand basic training. We could do that, Tyson. I love your name. You know, if you're in a hurry, do you become Tyson Runner?
Very funny.
That was
I think on that note.
Private man, if you're hitting weights, okay, you can do that, but make sure there's moderation. Yep. Okay, team, I'm going to go and do my second set of 100, so I'm getting ready to walk my dog on the beach. Let's get ready for Christmas. Let's get ready for school holidays. Understand.
So excited.
Sorry?
I'm so excited for
She
Christmas.
just can't hide it.
I love it. I just can't hide it.
Private man, more sailor stories. They're coming, mate. Matty Borrell, do you have one more question? You came late. I understand. I'm starting to laugh. I just read that and it sounds weird. Matty Borrell, do you have one question before we go? Matty's always here. He's here late. And I'd like to hear one question from him before he goes. Hayden Williams, good to have you here.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'll put the pressure on him to type. Guys and gals, honestly, you're lucky to have this channel. I'm lucky to have you. I'm about to do a video that's going to come out, some for Patreon that we're doing, and the other one is going to be my top 10 channels that you should be watching in so many different categories.
Great.
And if you find one of those channels that you go, this is the best, then I've done my job.
Yep, can't wait.
Can't wait. All right. We've got anything there? Have we got anything? Anything? Matty Borrell, going. What do you think of MPs? Oh, it's almost gone. They're fine, mate. But they're fine, but they're not cops. There's some fantastic jobs in MPs, like close security, like dog handler, which are not about sniffing shit. They're about attacking shit. They're about biting people's ball sacks.
Yep, that looks like fun.
Go and do that. But don't have the speed gun. You know, pulling over people like me who are running too fast. Take it easy, guys. Lurker, you're the best. Is MPs worth applying for? I'd say no. Do something else. Find out about MPs yourself and then make the decision. I have never met a happy MP and I've slept with a couple of them. They weren't men.
Yeah, what, you couldn't even make them happy?
I made them happy,
Yeah.
but they didn't stay.
Right.
All right, guys and gals, take it easy. Mucho respecto. It's been an absolute pleasure. Sorry it went so long, but you know what? You're soaking in it.